All right, we're good to go.
Okay.
We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new Better Left Unsaid stream. I am Anthony. That's not the intro we said we were going to do. We said we are going to do a natural. It's live, guys. It's live. I'm Anthony. We got James. We got Comrade Casey, North Star Radio, and James from Uninformed Leftist. And we have Sean the Black here, Sean Wiggs, joining us for the very first time. Very happy to have you here, Sean.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Grazing episode 4.
Yeah, officially episode 4. Yeah, we've lost count.
Yeah.
We've kind of been all over the place with this. Sean, it's super nice to meet you. I tried to have you on a few months ago. I reached out to you to try to come on to our Gaza fundraiser. Our schedules weren't aligned, but
Right.
we've been trying to get something done with you since then. So super nice to have you here. A lot to catch up on. I wish we had you here under like better and different circumstances. Maybe not without World War III happening in the back, but it's super nice to
Yeah.
have you here and get your insight on a lot of what's been happening.
Of course. Well, thanks for having me. And of course, under better circumstances, but like, when is the world not imploding? So,
I know. It's
Yeah.
like a few weeks ago, like I made the bad joke a few weeks ago because the guys are like in Minnesota. So I was like, for once, it's kind of safer here in Lebanon than it is in Minnesota. That lasted like 2 weeks, I
I
think.
know.
I should never have made that joke. I just like cursed
Yeah.
myself.
yeah.
So there's a bunch of stuff to go over today. We're going to be talking a little bit about obviously the events that are happening around the world right now, the Iran war, how that's affecting Lebanon. John Stewart made some comments about the war that we kind of wanted to touch on. Kristi Noem was fired recently. Asmongold made some crazy comments, and then Casey Tron kind of went after him and Mythic Talents on Twitter, and they just announced yesterday that they're parting ways with Asmongold. So I kind of wanted to get you guys' take on that. Ben Shapiro's eyebrows look a little bit different. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see that. That's kind of insane.
Spooky.
Mamdani's wife, they're coming after her for like her IG likes and stuff that she's liked on Instagram, posts about October the 7th, etc. Um, there's some slop. Adam McIntyre versus Rosanna Panzino, who's now hosting a show with Olivia from the H3 podcast. People are kind of coming after them for being involved with anyone H3 related, so we can talk about that. And just a couple of random topics later at the end. And we have some questions for Sean that we're going to ask. And yeah, I guess we can start. Does anyone want to say anything about the war? Comrade Casey, what do you think about what's happening in Iran right now? The world
Yeah.
wants
Yay or nay?
yay or nay for war with Iran?
Well, I would just start off by saying I think, okay, here's what I'll say. I think we all know it's bad. I think we can all agree on that. I
Right.
Hell yeah.
think we can all agree that it's, even if we can't even agree on whether the so-called reason for it is bad, the level of destruction we can all agree on is bad.
Oh, yeah.
But I
What?
would also say it seems more and more now that there's some sort of, the construction of a front, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
for some sort of world war,
Hmm.
stretching from like Ukraine to Sudan or like Yemen, around that area.
So what is like the stated reason that the United States is attacking Iran?
Well, it's about like, the main
Liberation.
one is the nukes, is like the nuclear program and the refining of whatever they're refining. But then like the liberal reason is like, oh, it's like dictatorship and um they slaughtered 40,000 people or whatever. That's like
Yeah, the
that's like the
like
secondary reason if not everyone agrees with
Hmm.
the first.
yeah, they're trying to sell it to us like they sold us like the Iraq War. Like, yeah, they have weapons, but it's really to liberate the Iraqis from Saddam Hussein, and now they want to liberate the Iranians, supposedly, which is a. By the way, Jim D. Duker sends a $10 super chat and says, "Welcome, Sean, on behalf of the Do Not Worry community." Thank you,
Thank
Jim.
you.
Yeah, I think what's happening is kind of insane. They're using whatever excuse that they have. This is basically, I think, a war on behalf of like Israel. They've been wanting to go after Iran for a while. They think that they want to cut off the head of the axis of resistance or the axis of evil in the area, and I think that's mainly it. And what's worse is that the problem is what's helping give this war legitimacy is the Iranian diaspora, which have been like dancing and celebrating online on social media, doing the Trump dance, and making people think that most Iranians are actually in support of this war, when on the ground, in reality, they are not, especially the people that are on the ground. And I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of footage. But like Sean, what do you think about what's happening over there? I know you've done you did some coverage about what's going on. Sort of like, what's your take on this whole thing?
Yeah, so I think you kind of hit the nail on the head when you said this is a war on behalf of Israel. And that's not even really speculation because that's what Marco Rubio himself said. When he
Hmm.
came out, he was like, we needed to like preemptively strike Iran because Israel was already going to strike. And if Israel
Yeah.
struck, then Iran would attack us. So we had to attack them first.
Hmm.
And so like he didn't even really try to walk that back. So they're not even really hiding this is like a war on Israel's behalf. And, Israel is kind of like a petulant child trying to lash out at whoever they can whenever they can because they just want to. And the U.S. is like we're going to support Israel all the way, and so we've been like drug into this partially due to Israel wanting to go to war with Iran, and also just Trump just being kind of insane and just
Hmm.
being like I want to kind of dick swing over anybody I possibly can. That's how you get the kidnapping of Maduro in Venezuela. You get him
Hmm.
like posturing against Ecuador now in Cuba. He's just kind of like, I just want to exercise my power just because I can. And he's like a useful idiot being used by like the actual war hawks in his administration and in the Democratic Party as well,
Hmm.
just to like expand American imperialism. It's kind of how I view it.
Uh, do you guys think, like, what do you guys think would have happened if Kamala Harris were president right now? Do you think we would have anything to do with Iran? Would we be involved in an Iran war? Would things be different? Because I mean, I didn't vote in the last election, but sometimes seeing what is happening right now around the world for the first time ever, I'm kind of going like maybe I should have voted. I not that it really would have made a difference. And again, I never would have voted for Biden or Kamala because of the Gaza genocide and what they allowed to happen, etc. But like recently, I've kind of been looking at it and I'm like, shit, like, did I make a mistake? I never thought that before. But like, do you think it would have been as bad? Do you guys have any idea? Like, what do you guys think? Would Kamala Harris have let Netanyahu drag the U.S. into this kind of war?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't think we would have preemptively struck Iran like we did in this way, but I think the end goal would have been the same.
Hmm.
Which is just like we are pulled in one way or another. Israel
Hmm.
would have preemptively struck anyway. Iran would have
Hmm.
retaliated against us, and then we would have been struck in that way. And
Hmm.
so they would have
Right.
found some way of like maneuvering it where like it didn't seem like we were like war hawking and war posturing, but it was
Hmm.
still like okay for us to join the war. Because that's how you get like four Democrats sided with Republicans to, uh, you know, side with Trump over starting war with Iran in the first place. So it's a
Hmm.
very uniparty thing, and I don't trust the Democratic Party, establishment, but specifically Kamala Harris, to not do that.
Okay, you just made me feel better about that. Like I no longer have that feeling. Actually, I put out a post on Instagram mentioning that you were coming on as a guest, and one of our viewers wanted to ask you that question. I think Carmen had like a similar question, but someone is asking, you should ask Sean why he supports Democrats when they aren't pushing back at all on Trump attacking Iran. In fact, many of these Dems outright support it. But what you just said kind of negates what that person is asking.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I'm a registered Democrat, and insofar as like I registered when I was like 16, pre-registered, I
mhm,
voted for my first presidential election in 2020
mhm.
for
Oh,
Joe
so
Biden. And then since then, it's just kind of been like, the Democrats have, consistently lost me every step of the way.
yeah.
And so I'm critical of the Democrats because I think that there are more Democrats who are willing to listen than Republicans. And I think Republicans are just an inherently racist, white supremacist party. And the Democratic Party are useful idiots. And I hate them because they're so close to the Republicans. But I'm not like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say like I'm a Democratic like supporter. Like I'm not a part of Chorus. I'm not a part of the DNC. They
yeah.
didn't invite me to the DNC.
No way.
So
You didn't get an invitation to Chorus or the DNC?
I did not, unfortunately. They are not fans of mine.
Chorus is it's the program that like pays creators for content, right?
Yeah.
That Taylor Lorenz talked about.
Yeah. So I have some former friends that used to be part of Chorus. So like I used to work in like the nonprofit space, in like the progressive space around a lot of these people. Olivia Juliana,
Hmm.
Santiago, whatever his last name is, I don't know. Harry Sisson, like around these people. And so I
Hmm.
seen firsthand how they act and how they just kind of don't really care about what's going on. And they try to use these things to enrich themselves. I'm just like, I dislike that a lot. And so I kind of separated myself from that infrastructure of like establishment politics, and try to, focus on what I think is more important, which is like grassroots organizing,
Mhm.
talking to workers and building power from the ground up.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
And what you said there really resonates with me because um, I was talking with some people that were in the abandon Biden or abandon Harris movements during the 2024 election, and I agree with them that like you need to apply pressure to Democrats because they're the only ones that potentially would listen to people that are trying to resist the genocide in Palestine or the bombing of Iran. Because Republicans just don't care. Like, uh, if the Democrats are relying on your vote and or assuming that you're going to get their vote, they're going to get your vote election time, like they're the only ones that you actually have access to apply pressure to. It's the same reason why I see people online and they're like, how come there's no pro-Palestine protesters at Republican conventions? It's like, well, there are, but they aren't going to be as effective as the ones that are at Democratic candidate speeches.
Yeah.
By the way, Sean, how old are you? Because I think we all like, I think maybe all of us have like a similar story of like we voted once. Sorry to ask, because I'm 35. I think I'm a little bit older than you guys.
Yeah, I'm 26,
You're
25,
tw
turning 26 this year.
okay, okay.
Nice.
You're all little babies. So my first election that I voted in was for Obama. I voted for Obama twice. Was it 2008 and 2012?
Yeah.
And then back in the day, like I thought I was being like progressive as hell. I was so proud of myself. And then what really opened my eyes was like Bernie running in 2016 when it was Hillary. Like that's what really opened my eyes and made me realize just like how duped we were. Like that's when I kind of had my awakening. That's what pushed me really to the left. And even now, like I think Bernie, by not calling what's happening in Gaza genocide, etc. Even I'm very disappointed with Bernie, but like that's kind of where it started for me. So I think we all had kind of that experience of voting for someone, thinking that we were voting for like a leftist candidate who was promising actual change, and then just kind of having the rug pulled from underneath us. What moment kind of pushed you, Sean, to the left? Like, what was it after you voted for Biden that made you go, like, I'm not doing this again. Like, I'm not voting for another candidate like that again? Or what pushed
Yeah.
you to the left?
For me, it was very specifically student loan forgiveness that he just like
Okay.
completely lied on. So that was my issue growing up because like I had a whole experience about like almost being groomed into the military by a military recruiter.
Oh shit.
Mm.
He basically kidnapped me from school, signed me out of school, and then took me across town and signed up for the military because he knew that I couldn't afford college. Like, and they
Oh,
explicitly said that, and so
Wow.
I was just like, I decided not to join for a number of different reasons. But I was like, I'll just take the debt. But there's this guy who's running, Joe Biden. He was the former vice president. He's saying he's going to
mhm.
cancel all of my student debt. Like that's awesome. Like I really appreciate that. And so I was out there kind of like evangelizing for Biden. I was like, yo, Biden is our guy. We need to vote for Biden, right? Because we need to get him elected so I can get my student debt canceled. And Trump's bad, not good. We just had 4 years of Trump and that sucked. So I was like, got to get this guy elected. He gets elected first and immediately drops, his original plan. He breeds like a neutered version of student loan forgiveness. And I was like, that's not what you promised, but it's something. And then I didn't even get that neutered version. I didn't even qualify for it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I got nothing from the Biden presidency. It was just like it was a whole thing, and I was just like, I'm not. I don't believe people anymore, like politicians anymore. So
Yeah.
that was my politicians are liars moment. So I've always heard it, said politicians are liars, but that was the moment where I saw it firsthand, and I was just like, that sucks. And then October 7th happened. He's like, yo, we need to start, committing genocide. And I was like, well, I don't definitely like, I'm not for that. Like that's super bad. And so I was like, well, maybe, he lied about this thing. Well, maybe we can put pressure on him to change his ways. But Biden was such a fanatical Zionist that he was like, no, we're going to keep doing genocide. And then Kamala Harris came in. I was like, maybe it's going to be different. And she was like, no, I'm going to do the same thing that Biden did. And I was like, well, all
Yeah.
these people suck. This
Yeah.
entire party infrastructure sucks.
Mhm. Yeah, it's crazy. For me, it was like when Obama was like dropping record numbers of drones on like Yemen at the time. Where like I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, come on,
Yeah.
dude. And deporting record amounts of people. Like it was yeah, like everybody was kind of full. Then like yeah, James, I fully agree with you that like Democrats have to earn our vote. The whole vote blue, no matter who. That's what's given Democrats the pass to like literally do nothing. You know what I mean? Like they
Right.
support war, but like they'll shout out like gay pilots in the IDF. Like that's not what we meant by like voting for Democrats. So absolutely, the only way to like actually hold them accountable is to withhold your vote. And they only give you something to vote against, which is Donald Trump or like this big evil, and they never give you anything to vote for, which has been said so many times. But I think, yeah, that is absolutely kind of the one of the
Yeah, and I think like the genocide in Palestine really opened up my eyes to the fact that there are so many issues that the Democrats are the same on as Republicans, and like it also goes back to the chorus content creators, because it's like these people, like liberal content creators, are not going to focus on the issues that are the same between the Democrats and the Republicans. And so I have this quote from Kamala Harris here, because I know we were saying, oh, would Kamala Harris do the same thing that Donald Trump did with Iran? This is what she says. Donald Trump is dragging the United States into a war that the American people do not want. Let me be clear. I'm opposed to a regime change war in Iran, and our troops are being put in harm's way for the sake of Trump's war of choice. Read my full statement. I mean, nothing in there is like I'm opposed to like the bombing of Iran's nuclear programs, right? She's like, oh, we're putting our troops in harm's way. Well, okay, so would the drone strikes be better then, instead of human pilots going over it? Like, there's no meaningful distinction between Kamala Harris's point that she's making here and what the Republicans actually did. She's just trying to come up with some fluff to be like, I'm different than Trump. But is she really that different? I don't. This is not a convincing tweet for me.
Yeah, I've been pretty like disgusted by by the Democrats. Comrade Casey, sorry I cut you off.
Oh, well, that's why I feel like I have more of a distrust in the Democrats, because I mean, both parties are really they're good at tricking people. And I feel like the Democratic Party, a lot of the like new age Democrats, they can kind of just say whatever they want, make a lot of promises, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually gonna, act on those things they said. Because like in the case of Iran, Anthony, you brought this up earlier. I don't think it would be as like devastating as obvious, the Democratic Party likes to do things a little bit more liberal and a little bit more with more propaganda in mind. So I feel like it probably would have happened.
Like the Democrats,
not as violent.
They almost use like proceduralism as a coat of armor, right? Like, oh, it's not, they don't have a strongman president that just does whatever he wants, but it's just the system would have led us to bomb Iran. As Kamala Harris says in like her full statement, it's like, oh, well, he didn't get Congress's approval to do it. Because if Congress gives the approval to do the bombing of Iran, then it's okay.
Yeah, and I think Sean's framing is also like the fact that like Netanyahu would have done something, he would have hit Iran, Iran would have responded, and then we're like, well, I need the U.S. to help me now. Like you guys have no choice but to help me, or else otherwise, Kamala Harris, you're an anti-Semite. Again, sorry, I just lost power, but we're still here. Love Pancakes Waffle sends a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. And says, yes, Sean, recruiters are predatory. They did the same to me when I was 17. I ended up joining the army for 8 years. Fuck, worst decision of my life. They build recruitment centers near low-income high schools. I did not know that. You guys are really opening my eyes to the fact that they like kidnapped you is kind of like fucking insane.
Yeah, it's a whole thing in like in poor Black and brown communities. They'll have recruiters like sit outside of like the lunchrooms, and they'll just sit there and like corral students in. They'll have the counselors call low-income students, students that they know that can't afford college, to like the counselor's office and have like meetings with just like a bunch of Black students of like, hey, we know y'all can't afford college. Here are these recruiters to talk to you about why you should join the military. And so that's a whole thing that is like a thing in especially in North Carolina. It was a huge recruiting state, or places with military bases around it. It's crazy. It's rough.
That's so nefarious. Like the crazy stuff I heard, like I remember that like the military used to kind of invest in like Call of Duty to make joining the military seem all that more cool and attractive to kids, and like that would encourage, like there was a massive Call of Duty to military pipeline. Weirdly enough, like kids would play Call of Duty and like straight up wanna join the military. I wonder, I can't remember if they would have like recruiters playing online as well and like trying to recruit kids like while playing the game. I can't remember if I actually heard that, or if I'm like just making that connection.
That
Like
was the thing that they tried doing on Twitch. They had like a whole like
that's
esports team
that's
trying to
crazy.
appeal to kids.
And Sean, then
It's like
you
the
wonder why the Democrats were so unable to get any form of student loan forgiveness done, right? It's like when
Yeah.
we have systems that are incentivized to screw people and stop them from achieving higher education without joining the military. Those systems are incentivized to stay in place and keep people disenfranchised from higher forms of education.
Yeah. Also with healthcare, like,
Right.
military and vets get free healthcare, but if you have free healthcare as a citizen, why would you ever join? So
Yeah, exactly. It's extra incentive. Also, free college, like they'll pay for your right. Like, is it free community college? Right. I don't remember what exactly the deal is, but it
it's
helps a
both.
lot.
It's like they'll have like a GI Bill that helps you pay for school.
Yeah.
So, and they also help you buy houses. They will shove all the money into you pre-joining, but once you
Mhm.
join, they're like, bro, who cares about you? So that's why you have all the homeless vets on the street because they don't care about you after you've used
Mhm.
your body to serve the American empire. They'll use you and then they'll throw you away. But if you're like young and spry and you're full of energy, they're like, yeah, we'll give you whatever you want to get you into the door, so that we can use you and then throw you away.
That's so, and I'm sure the majority of people that are recruited into the military are doing it for those two key benefits: education and healthcare. Like that's got to be
Yeah.
that's the biggest
Yeah.
appeal.
Have you ever seen those videos where like someone goes around to all of their like army recruits and they're like, "Why'd you join?" And they're like, and then people give out the reasons why. It's all like, "I'm broke. I needed health care. Uh, I couldn't afford school." Like it's all
There
of
is
that.
I will say, there is a large contingent of people. I think my chatter pulled it up one time. It was like 57% of people join for like desperation, but that leaves 43% of people who join because of they're like, I think I'm actually doing something good, or I want to go kill
Mhm.
people overseas. Those people do exist, and
Yeah, of course,
I've
of
seen those
course.
people.
The
Like,
Boy Scouts.
We've seen them.
yeah. So
S-
that
some
is
of them
also the
are
other.
some of them are right here at our border right now. Some of those fucking
Some of them
tweets.
are
But
in
yeah,
this call.
probably they're definitely listening, dude. They're listening to everything. No, apparently, literally right now, Israel is tapped into everything here in Lebanon, communications wise. Like we're fucked. Like there's not much we could do. They listen. Just shalom, boys. How's it going?
All
Um,
right.
just a couple of scenes like out of the war in Iran. I'm sure you guys have seen this online. This is they bombed oil refineries in Tehran, which is a massive escalation. They're attacking sort of basically public resources. That they've attacked desalination plants. So let me bring you guys back here real quick. Here, one second. I'm gonna unshare and reshare. Like this is straight the movie. Like this is
So Anthony, do you know what is on fire in this? Is it a specific like factory or plant or anything, or is it just a neighborhood
I,
block?
no, this is like a massive oil refinery,
Okay.
essentially, I guess. So it's like oil tankers or like a plate, just containers with tons of fuel in them. And it's just all on fire. And some of the fuel has actually leaked into the sewers. And now these are the streets of Tehran. So, like, the streets of Iran are on fire, literally, because the fuel is
Crazy.
getting into the sewers. So it's like, I was making a joke. It looks like Ghost Rider just like drove past on his like fucking bike, or like the Flash is running extra fast. It's like I don't even know how to describe this. It's just fucking insane. And you have people, and then you watch videos of people dancing and celebrating this, which just makes it all insanely absurd. This is from just recently. This is an Iranian journalist who is reporting in front
Jesus.
of the flames of an oil depot. This just came out like an hour ago. And there's been a bunch of videos coming out of like acid rain literally falling on Tehran. There's massive black clouds and there's rain coming out that's toxic. They're telling people that if the rain touches you, you have to clean it out with very cold water instantly. It can harm your lungs. So they're finding very creative ways to kill people. Other than bombs, there's always very creative ways that the Israelis and Americans like to torture sort of the population of the countries that they're going after. This is a quick look at the Lebanese border. So as you guys know, like the war has expanded into Lebanon. So now Israel is attacking Iran. They're also attacking Hezbollah. And this is what South Lebanon looks right now. This is right at the border. This is a massive Israeli military presence, just a bunch of tanks, a bunch of soldiers. They've evacuated the entire south. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. They evacuated the entire south of Lebanon, which is about like 10% of Lebanon's landmass in terms of size.
Holy
They've
crap.
evacuated the entire, yeah, they evacuated the entire southern suburbs of Beirut. Uh, so we have about 1.2 million displaced individuals right now in Lebanon. The vast majority are from the Shia community. And basically, the Israeli army is punishing them for supporting Hezbollah, for supporting the resistance, for being Shia. They're targeting every single Shia community and trying to have them sort of come to like find refuge in Christian communities. And by doing that, they're creating unrest because they essentially want to create like a civil war between the Christians in Lebanon and the Shia community. And what they're doing is, so a lot of now we're offering shelter to the displaced. Hotels are giving bedrooms or they're renting out bedrooms to families that have been displaced. What the Israelis are doing is that they're bombing some of these hotels that are not in the Shia areas, so that it could be in a general Christian area or whatever, and they're killing certain people that are displaced in these hotels to discourage like Christian people or non-Shia people from like renting out their house or renting out their apartment to people from Shia communities. So they want to create this rift, they want to create this tension. They want Christians to kick out displaced people from their villages, all of that leading to tension. And hopefully, they want to like collapse it. I don't know what the fuck their plan is ultimately. They just want to take Lebanon. They want to take the South. And like you have the Lebanese government that is essentially being told to like arrest Hezbollah. They're like the Israeli government is telling the Lebanese government, unless you stop Hezbollah and unless you disarm them yourselves, we're going to bomb the living shit out of you and we're going to bomb the whole fucking country. So the country's under threat. And if the Lebanese army tries to disarm Hezbollah, that's going to lead to civil war because first of all, the Lebanese army is incapable of disarming Hezbollah. Hezbollah is more powerful and better armed and better equipped than the Lebanese army. They have more training. They fought the IDF dozens of times. They fought and defeated ISIS. So that already would lead to civil war. So there's a lot of tension in the country. And while all that's happening, the country's being bombed, the South. So Lebanon is also kind of, it's all going fucking crazy. I've been trying to cover it as much as I can here on the channel, even though I'm not like a political commentator. But that's a little bit of what's been going on here. It's crazy. And it's a bit overwhelming, but yeah, I mean, it's nothing we're not used to, I guess, but that's also part of the problem. Like, it's endless. And I don't want to talk about myself or Lebanon too much, so I'll kind of just leave it at that.
I mean,
Insane.
I love hearing about it. Well, I don't love it. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But yeah, no, it sucks. I think
Needs
the
to
only
be
good
talked
thing to
about.
come out of this, it's not even a good thing, but like seeing people in Dubai get a little taste of some of the pain and horror that they've inflicted or helped inflict on the rest of the world is, I'm not going to say is a nice feeling because the people in Dubai, for the most part, are like innocent, but like seeing that whole facade, because Dubai is known for three things: luxury, safety, and like stability. All of those three things have been stripped away with Iran just firing rockets into there's nothing luxurious about getting rockets shot into your city. There's nothing safe about it, and the whole idea that it's a stable place in the Middle East, that's all gone. That's all gone. And Dubai was more than happy to normalize relations with Israel. They're more than happy to allow the US and Israel to use their airspace or their country for any kind of operation that is against Arab countries. So you sign a deal with the devil, that's kind of what you get. And I can't say that I feel bad about seeing those countries getting dragged into this, because also the genocide in Sudan, the genocide in Yemen on behalf of the Saudis, everything is just, so they kind of
Well, did you
deserve
see
that.
the Jon Stewart clip where he was
Yeah.
like surprised that Iran attacked Dubai for some reason? He was like making it seem like Iran was almost escalating the war beyond, what
Oh,
we
yeah.
started.
That's my favorite thing. A war spreading throughout the Middle East as Iran like
Here,
Yeah.
attacks different targets.
Oh, here we go.
let's check it out. Yeah.
So wait a minute, let me get this straight. America and Israel attack Iran. And Iran's answer is to just attack everybody. You know, having been in a bar fight or two in my life, I'm pretty sure the worst thing you can do during a 2-on-1 beatdown is slap everyone else. Hey, not every part of me is getting punched. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, you! So wait a minute.
There's another clip, and then I'll let you guys sort of discuss. Here's making a joke about Khomeini. Let's see.
That guy, by the way, there he was, martyred at 86. Man, are the virgins going to be disappointed.
Like a 72 or 73 virgins joke in 2026 is pretty fucking like insane. And coming from Jon Stewart, like, oh, come on, man.
What's even the joke there? That he's old?
That he's old, yeah. So like the virgins aren't happy to like, they're like, oh, that's disappointing. I guess that's
Holy
the joke.
shit, dude.
I'm sorry, am I going too hard on Khamenei? Fucking murderous dictator? Like, whoa. Don't make fun of his erectile dysfunction. That's a bridge too far, Stuart. Guy fucking mowed down his own people, but, you know, Viagra's a serious drug. No, America apparently had to start an entire war to kill an 86-year-old man in ill health and not wait, I don't know, 3 weeks to let saturated fat do its thing.
Okay. What do you guys think of Jon Stewart's comments? Sean, I know you talked about it a couple of days ago on stream.
Briefly, I didn't get a chance to show the clip. The first clip specifically, because we think we started watching it, we didn't finish it. But I mean, it kind of just Jon Stewart's just like a liberal, so it kind of feels just like liberal analysis. Really, it's like I kind of feel like how people covered genocide in Palestine after October 7th. It's like, oh, history must have started, here now with only 2 countries, U.S. and Israel, attacking Iran. And it's like, are we not going to talk about every other nation, like, having a U.S. military base and being used as a, military front for the U.S.? Like, where are where are these munitions launching from? Where are these operations being coordinated from? Like, where are these service members staying at? It's like, you can't like remove like, oh, it's just Iran attacking everybody for no reason. It's like, no, it's the U.S. has established this empire and it are using these other nations as a front of like, oh, it's not us, by the way. It's not, we're just like, we're just out of this. But like, no, these are allies of the U.S. These are people who are coordinating with the U.S. Like, you're not like innocent in the U.S.'s endeavor to like destabilize Iran, because that's essentially what their goal is. And so like that's just kind of how I view it. Where it's like, of course, like liberals don't understand that because they need to expand like Western hegemony and American imperialism, and that's kind of their entire goal. So this is part of like the propaganda apparatus.
Right. And that makes me think back to the the video out of like Bahrain where the people were like cheering at the Iranian bombs hitting their own country.
Yeah,
it's like they're not
right.
attacking everyone. They're specifically attacking like American military bases.
Even the people there were like, fuck this American base. Yeah, of course. Like, that honestly, like that should teach them a lesson. Like, if they think that having an American base in their country is like innocuous or like nothing, like, no, dude, that means something. Having an American base, having US weaponry that is being used against your neighboring countries, that has to come back to haunt you. And I'm shocked that it's taken so long for someone to like get back at them, and after allowing the Gaza genocide to happen. And I mean, Dubai couldn't be more excited to normalize relations with Israel when that opportunity came up. And Saudi Arabia was very close to signing the Abrams Accord. And people are saying, like, some people believe like that's why October the 7th happened. It was like to like stop that from happening in its tracks and like bring the world's attention back to Palestine, back to Gaza. So it's definitely
and
crazy.
This is why I'm done with the whole, like, I thought we learned our lesson with Trump and the whole celebrity running for president, because there's like a trend to get Jon Stewart to run for president. Even people are saying Stephen A. Smith needs to run for president.
No.
And like, I mean, they're just people in show business that are obviously, well, in that last clip, like, it just shows how obvious, or like how it's like the textbook liberal propaganda where, oh, we're having a good laugh, we're making fun of his erectile dysfunction, but like the main message of that joke is basically defending the war. Even if you're saying
Yeah.
like, oh, Trump shouldn't have done that, he didn't have congressional approval, all these liberals are still, they're sort of hating on Trump while at the same time still defending the war.
Yeah, it's like he's treating it as kind of like, oh, there goes Israel bombing a guy to try to kill a bad guy, right? They couldn't have just waited. He's relegating it to a minor annoyance, and what the real point of that is an obfuscation about the realities of American imperialism. And I don't know whether that's Jon Stewart's sincerely held beliefs that he doesn't see American imperialism as a problem, or the fact that he is he is plugged into the establishment in the sense that he has a television show and he has people paying him and he has people writing for him and they're all being paid by establishment media. But either way, like, as far as I'm concerned, this disqualifies him from being a candidate that leftists should be pushing for. Like, the result is the same. He is turning a blind eye and defending American imperialism on his show.
Yeah, and by framing Khomeini as a brutal dictator, which he might totally be, but by not like equating that with, but yeah, granted, but like Netanyahu and Trump are absolutely worse. Like by just saying he's a brutal dictator that deserves to die, you're automatically kind of giving Netanyahu and Trump a pass and making them seem like they are by default the good guy when in fact they are not. They are way worse than Khomeini. They have led to the death of way more people than Khomeini has combined. So I just find that kind of framing a little bit weird. Which is also weird, like didn't Jon Stewart make a movie many years ago called Rosewater about an Iranian? Yeah, journalist. He made a movie about journalist Mazyar Bahari is detained in Iran after he reports mob violence in the country and is deemed a spy. And I remember when Jon Stewart left the show for like a year and then gave it over to John Oliver? He was out filming a movie about an Iranian journalist. So, like, I'm kind of surprised that his take on it is as sort of kind of shitty as it is. And someone, I didn't watch the whole segment, but like apparently he also mentioned that like why would Iran do that during Ramadan and like bomb other Muslim countries during Ramadan? Israel fucking started bombing them during Ramadan. Like what the? It's not there. Israel is bombing the shit out of Lebanon, and now there's 1.2 million displaced Muslims who are supposed to be celebrating Ramadan and chilling at home and having their iftar at night and like having their who can't do anything and like. So I just find that stupid. Jim D. Duker sends a $10 dono and says, I gave up on Democrats for good after the 2000 election when they blamed Nader voters. They blamed us Nader voters for getting Bush elected. I remember the Nader talk back in the day.
The Jon Stewart has sort of had this Iran blind spot for a while. Like one of the recurring guests he's had on is Christiane Amanpour from CNN,
Ooh,
who's
yeah.
like an Iranian. She'd probably call herself Persian or probably, but she has gone on there and, she said some interesting things about growing up under the Shah and stuff, how beautiful it was. And so I wasn't really surprised by the whole Jon
Yeah.
Stewart thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
Christian Amanpour, she used to be a legend back in the day. Okay, so do you guys want to quickly talk about Kristi Noem getting fired? And I know
Let's do it.
Comrade Casey and James, like this, you guys are in Minnesota. You guys are very much involved in what's happening. ICE has been like a terrorizing presence where you guys are at. So there's an article. Let me see if I have it open. I can maybe get that open.
Yeah, I don't know much about the firing. I haven't really been focusing on it.
Yeah, I've been just fully focused on what's happening here. Let me just quickly.
Does anyone know the title of Kristi Noem's new position?
No idea.
Anyone? The special envoy for the Shield of the Americas. Like meeting
What
with
does
like
that even?
I don't even know. Meeting with like Latin American leaders, which is and like what the hell? That has to be a punishment, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a demotion.
But like specifically making her meet with Latin American leaders like, after her role as the head of the DHS.
So like, can I like so why did she get fired? So like why is it a demotion? I thought Trump was very happy with what ICE was doing. Like I thought the US government, like, are they upset about the killings? Why did this happen? I was kind of surprised when I saw this. And plus, I've been so focused on just the war here that
Hmm.
anything that like sort of this all just I was like, okay, interesting, and then just kind of moved on. Can someone explain to me why this happened? What she did that like kind of cost her her job?
I think it was that congressional hearing that she had, right? Like there were so many bad clips that she looked awful coming out of there. Um, like they brought up her affair that she allegedly had. She
Oh
just
shit.
got
Okay.
like totally roasted on the deaths of the two people involved, asking about specific cases where ICE agents were killing people, and then she's like, "Oh, I don't recall that. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I have no idea what you're saying." And they're like, "You don't know. Like everyone knows about the deaths of these people, and you don't know. Like you're the head of this." And I think Trump's just a TV guy, and he saw her looking bad on TV and was like, "I don't want her anymore. I want to get rid of her."
Yeah, I mean, we
Okay.
kind of saw that happen in Minnesota when it came to her being removed and replaced with Tom Homan because she got
Yeah,
Oh,
or it was that Bongino
exposed.
guy, right?
Well,
Bongino
Bongino's,
got also removed kind of
yeah,
after the death of Preddy.
and so like I think the murder of two white Americans, as high profile as it was, put a lot of pressure on the administration, even though like they don't care about anything, but they care about their
mhm.
perception. Like Trump cares about his perception,
Yeah.
and then Chrissy Nomes being unable to like you know, effectively propagandize about that in her hearing. It was like, okay,
Mhm.
if you can't do it, we'll find somebody who can. Because like
Yeah.
Okay,
Trump is
so
like very easy to drop people when they're like when they underperform.
okay, so if anyone's like, yeah, a minor inconvenience, that's it. He just drops them.
Yeah.
And
Also, she's a woman. He hates women. So
that's
like,
that's what I was gonna say too.
Fair
Like,
point.
what do you guys think about this theory? My theory is like Trump just wanted her fired and removed from the administration altogether. Like, is there a level of knowing about the Epstein files where the people around Trump are going to be like, we can't just fire her. We gotta find her some like some cushy spot that is completely inconsequential so that she'll keep her mouth shut. Is that what you guys think happened? Like Trump just wanted to cut bait and cut her loose, and people are like, "We can't burn this bridge. She's in too deep."
I don't know. I don't know how involved she is in the Epstein stuff. I can see that being the case because like obviously it implicates everybody at every level of government in both parties. So
Because
I can see that being
I feel like in his last administration, he was much more quick to just get people out of the administration altogether. That we're not really seeing that as much here.
I feel like
True.
Epstein could have been more responsible for getting us into Iran, honestly. At this point, they're like, Netanyahu's like, listen,
Mm.
dude, we got all this footage. Like, you either help us or, so I'm opening up a couple of links real quick about the Casey Tron stuff.
Because
Send
like,
this
what
in.
are the odds that Pam Bondi goes next?
pretty high.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
that's what.
anybody who I think just underperforms, or basically anybody who can't do proper propaganda for what Trump is doing. Like you can't spin it in a way that he thinks is necessary. He'll just replace you. And
Yeah.
so I think
Well,
Cash Patel is next.
what about the theory that this is people are calling it the Epstein Wars? I might have called it the Epstein Wars.
This is the Epstein Wars, Iran.
Does it have anything to do with the files? I mean, you look at the Google Trends, Epstein files dropped off over the past couple days or over the past week.
I mean, I don't
Mm.
doubt it. I think I am not a full Epstein war truther just because even without the Iran war, like I don't think he's gonna happen with it anyway. I don't think he's gonna be held accountable for it regardless. But like I don't put it past him to be like, yo, let's just do whatever we want to do because, you know, reading too close to the truth coming out.
Mm.
Yeah. There was also, I think there was something in the Epstein files. This is like kind of schizo, but there was something in the files about some text that Epstein sent basically saying that if any of this was going to get leaked, or I think it was pertaining to Donald Trump, like if anything about Trump were to get exposed, then he would do war with Iran as some sort of distraction. Like I think he literally said that. I mean, it is kind of like the war of all wars that people have been talking about for a long time. Netanyahu's been hyping it up for decades. Every president, Hillary Clinton was saying, "Oh, if I'm president, I'm going to nuke Iran," basically.
Right.
I
So I
love all
guess
the
it's
old
not-
tweets. Like people are pulling up all of Trump's old tweets, like fucking with Obama, being like, he's just gonna bomb Iran, he's just gonna start a war with Iran
Right.
because he has like low approval numbers, and like the fact that he's doing it now, it's just fucking hilarious, kind of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chris sends a $2 super chat and says weekly funding for comrades luscious mustache. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah, mustache wax is expensive.
It is, especially that organic stuff. I wanted to quickly touch on some of the Asmongold stuff that's been hitting. There's been a lot of like Asmongold content. Sorry, I got some of the links mixed up here. A lot of weird comments that he's been making. Suggests mass killings in Iran. Let's listen in a little bit.
I think that finally we have a Secretary of War that has crusader tattoos. He says fuck around and find out, and they're bombing people. And yeah, it's gonna happen, guys. Sorry to say. Until they're all gone, absolutely. I think that a lot of people, I think that the peacetime that we've experienced for such a long time has really kind of made people soft to the reality of just mass killing people. It works amazingly well. Trust me, if you look at the history books, you will see that mass killing people works really, really fucking well. Every single time it's worked. So every page, every chapter, every story is based off of that every single time. And again, this is not an alternative that you can have peace to. This is an alternative that you can have a perpetual ongoing war that costs the lives of thousands of people, or you can for once.
He's a Twitch streamer, right? Or is he on Kick?
No, he's on Twitch.
He's on Twitch. Is the only reason they're not kicking him off is because they keep 50% of like his revenue, essentially? Like he's a cash cow for the platform or something? Like how is someone like this still allowed on the platform? I don't understand.
I think it's less about his like sub revenue because I don't think he has that many subs. I think it's just about his viewership.
Just the
So, like,
viewership?
yeah. So like I think they're keeping him on as like a kind of a counterbalance to Hassan because he gets like comparable viewership, and they're like, oh, if we ban Asmongold, we're gonna have to ban Hassan too. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they're just like we're gonna keep both of them, even though Asmongold is saying insane stuff like this.
That makes sense. Yeah. It's fucking unhinged, man.
Put a stop to it, or at least try to put a stop to it, and improve things. That's it. You can't say you can't say the truth like that, bro. Yeah, you can't say that, guys. That's it. And that's not going to crash out over this one. No, I'm telling you, it didn't work for Hitler. My grandpa wiped out 500 Nazis. Well, yeah, because the entire world like turned against them, and he totally fucked up. Like that's the reason why. And Hitler also did take over a lot of Europe. Like, what are you talking about? Hitler was massively powerful, and it took the entire.
Can't help himself. There's always got to be some kind of like praising of Hitler. You know what I mean? He was very powerful. I mean, he successfully took over.
But then he
a lot of
shot
Europe.
himself. Like, what are we doing here?
I mean,
That doesn't
is it
sound very
wrong to
successful.
say this is just like Asmongold's pillow talk to Nazis? He's not actually saying anything, right? Like he's saying mass killing works every time. This is a meaningless series of words. He's just like whispering sweet nothings into the ears of his fascist audience.
He's very like incoherent. Like he just reads chats and like uses those as like a springboard. Like, yeah, you're right. Actually, like it is fun. Like that's kind of how every clip I've seen of him is him saying something, reading chat, agreeing with the chat, be like, yeah, and then that kind of like launches him into kind of another like racist thing that he says. Then he reads another chat. He goes like, yeah, like he's constantly just yes, and he sees a chat, he wants to agree with his audience, and then like he just adds something in there.
By the way, I got to shout out Brat6738 with a super chat. SeanDablack is my favorite W guest. So, Sean, you're going to have to come on again.
Thank you. Of course. Anytime.
Let's go. And PM Godin sends $5 Canadian and says, kind of weird to say, trust me after saying mass killings work. Yeah, I know. Trust me, guys.
Like, what does that even mean? Mass killings work.
It's effective. It creates fear, and it makes you abide, James. It
Yeah,
makes you. It
it's like
creates.
it's
I
like
will abide.
I mean, as you were saying, it's like signaling, right? It's like
It is.
he's just like, guys, look at me. I agree with you. I can't say it out loud, but I agree with you. We should kill more people and make sure that they're the bad people. And it's just like I think Asmongold's a coward, and I've said this, and he's been mad about me saying this, but I think he's a coward. I think he's a cowardly person who's hiding behind what he actually wants to say, because he thinks that like I don't know if he thinks he'll get him banned or what. So he'll just be like, no, I just think that mass killings are good, but he won't say who we should be like mass killing.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So like, I think it's just like a cowardly thing. Also, I just had beef with Asmongold because he said that I was calling for like white genocide when I said we should have killed every slave owner after slavery. He said that I should have been banned on Twitch for saying that. But
What a piece of shit, dude! He came after me once randomly on fucking Twitter. Like I hadn't even mentioned him. I think I was like, hey Ethan, don't sue Casey Tron. He just like fucking came after me for no reason, and then he made like
Yeah.
2 videos about me. He's a piece
Yeah.
of
does
shit.
that.
Well, it's like Hassan gets flamed by like senators for saying that, oh, you can buy drones for cheaper than it is to become like a suicide bomber. And he gets roasted for saying that. And then Asmongold's justifying genocide here? He's like calling for genocide, saying mass killings work. And finally, we have someone that's going to do mass killings, and silence on that front. Like,
Yeah.
Hassan has coined the phrase vice signaling, and I think that this is a perfect example of that.
He's so let's listen to the rest of this. I don't know what else he says.
Our
Here.
world turning against him to stop that, and then him going to fucking Russia and then killing his army in the fucking Russian winter. Like, what are we talking about?
I love like the comedic, like also just like the sound of him slurping on that Coke. Like,
What are we talking about?
He is a caricature, right? Like
it is. It's like
Sundell.
it's honestly hard for me to get offended or like upset at this point because he is like so just like a caricature of a human, like you said. So here he's
We get too involved into other.
there he is flip-flopping on the war with Iran from 2024 to 2026.
We play too big of a role. I think that we play too big of a role in other countries' military shit. Like, we're too interventionary. We get too involved into other people's business.
Based.
It's a waste of our money. The
Yep.
people there probably fucking hate us.
who was president in 2024?
The upside here, right?
Yep.
Just stay out of it. Yeah, exactly. I'm not
Joe Biden.
totally isolationist,
exactly.
but I think that the level that we try to play nation building, especially in places like this, like, like Libya, for example, back in the day, what the fuck? Or Iraq. No, absolutely not. Yeah, it's too much, man. Way too much. I am so happy this has happened. I am just dramatically, tremendously happy this has happened. I know that, obviously I've talked about it for a long time, about how big of a problem Iran is and everything. I was a big supporter of us bombing them before, and now we're bombing them again, and this is just amazing. I think that we play
Yeah, I mean,
too big of a role.
it's just kind of absurd. I think this video alone is enough to if like he's done so many things to discredit himself, but I think that alone should be enough. Also, I've never heard of this person. Asmongold shouts out Burnt Peanut for bringing old gaming back and opening up a path towards bringing slurs back. So that's interesting.
And I can't. You gotta really feel bad for these people. What a fucking freak, bro. What a weird ass little freak. No, we bringing it back. The reason why I like Peanut, one of the reasons why I like him, is he represents the old gaming. This is the way. Like, I'm sorry, but like if you play FPS games, like that is your guy. That is your guy. Like, racist jokes, slurs, all kinds of like fucking politically
Let's go.
incorrect comments. Like, that's what it's
Based.
about. Like, that's what it's always been about. Like, this is
like unhinged, like racist comments, slurs.
This is a cultural victory that we are bringing it back. I think that we are only, and I'm hopefully speaking this into existence. I want to be able to say slurs again. I do. I want to be.
I love how he's just saying the quiet part out loud, right? Like, this is all, when you boil it down to it, Republicanism is just like wanting to say slurs and, I don't know, marry teenage girls. Like, that's what being conservative is.
To openly say, like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, he's also openly calling for, like, wanting to say slurs again online. And
Like,
I don't know, man.
whenever I play an online FPS game
I can't help myself. I just want to scream out the N word. Like, what is he
and I
saying?
can't use those words, I feel like a pit bull that's like, like one of those pit bulls like out in the backyard. It's like chained to a pole. I can't
That's
I
fucking
can't go out
insane,
there
dude.
and maul the fucking infants, right?
This
I
is
can't go out there and
recent?
bite the baby.
I saw this yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yesterday. Have you seen this, Sean? Is it like the first time
I
you guys see
haven't. I
this?
have not seen this. But it's not honestly not surprising. And honestly, I mean, maybe this is a hot take. I don't believe him. I don't believe Asmongold genuinely wants to say sorry. I think it's just signaling. Because we just saw Asmongold say that he's totally fine with like saying we should be mass killing people. If he wanted to say slurs, he could very openly say the slurs he wants to say. But like, I think he's just signaling to his audience to be like, guys, remember the nostalgia of being able to say whatever you want? Let's just come to me, watch my stream, and you'll get more of that nostalgia. Give me the attention. And so that's kind of what I see of Asmongold. He probably does want to say slurs, to be fair, but like I think it's more about like the culture and the energy that he wants to be creating, so because it gets him more attention.
I'd probably agree with that. He knows how to get people's attention. He's just playing to the audience. He's completely audience captured at this point.
Yeah,
Like he's just like a husk of a person, and he just echoes and repeats what his chat says. Well, Casey Tron did something pretty awesome a few days ago, and she shared a list of all the brands and creators that are partnered with Asmongold's talent agency, Mythic Talent. I'm not sure if he like co-founded it or whatever, but he's part of that company. And she's asking why would they want to be represented by someone who cheers for death? Every day is beyond me. Should probably start asking them. And she links Mythical's creators and then all of the brands that are associated with Mythic. This is probably the most pathetic tweet I've seen in my life. Someone quote tweeted Casey Tron's tweet and said this: "Hey H3 Production." So they tagged H3. Just out of curiosity, does this violate the agreement she signed with you when settling the lawsuit? Hey, Asmongold and Mythic Talent, this sounds a lot like libel to me and is an effort to directly affect your personal/financial well-being. Like this person is literally trying to get this person sued. I've never seen a tweet this pathetic. Someone licking so much fucking boot in one tweet to two different individuals, H3 and Asmongold.
Yeah.
I had to call it out. I had to say this could be one of the most pathetic tweets I've ever read. Like it was insanely
Yeah.
crazy. But crazily enough, Casey Tron's tweet went far enough, and Mythic put out like a statement like we've spoken with Asmongold and mutually agreed to part ways. Mythic represents creators from a wide range, blah, blah, blah. We're committed to fostering an environment grounded in respect and responsibility. We remain focused on supporting our creators and continuing our mission to help them build sustainable long-term careers. What do you guys think of all of this? And do you guys think that this is just like a PR thing, but Asmongold is still probably like a stakeholder in the company? Maybe he publicly is stepping away from the company, but is still benefiting from it. Like, I don't know if he sold his shares or anything like that. Uh, and some of the comments that he made, like, what do you guys think of Asmongold in general?
I think Asmongold sucks in general. It's my general
Yeah,
thoughts.
I agree
But
with
I,
that.
I think he is still benefiting from Mythic because he's still benefiting from Starforge. It's the same thing that Starforge did. He stepped away from Starforge, but he's
Okay.
still like the owner of it, just not like a
Mm.
public front facing like representative of the company.
Mhm.
And so,
So,
yeah,
so there's actually no sacrifice that he's making. Like, it's literally just PR. He's stepping away publicly. They might remove his face from like the website,
yeah.
leadership board, but like he's still there.
And we to be fair, we won't ever really know until he like comes out and like I don't know, shows evidence or proof that he's like, or he says it himself, like he's like, I've completely separated myself. I'm no longer benefiting from this company, but like, he never has, he never does.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
so I just operate under the assumption like he's probably just making money off the back end. Because I don't think Mythic Talent cares about anything anyway, because they were representing Tectone for
Mhm.
long after Tectone's allegations were public. They brought on some other guy, Legal Mindset, another one of these like
Oh,
That guy's so
yeah,
creepy.
yeah, the guy who's like go to Thailand and
he's like a sex tourist.
Yeah, basically,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
so
he's like a
it seems
sex
people hired to do
tourist
that as well.
guide.
Yeah, and so
That's
they
so
partnered
fucked.
with him and only dropped him after some backlash, allegedly. So I don't necessarily trust any company that works with Asmongold to like not actually keep Asmongold benefiting. Happened with OTK as well. And they said Asmongold and them split, but Asmongold would still like go to OTK events. He would still be like as a back end
Yeah.
like founder, not like as an actual like front facing person. So I don't trust them. I don't believe them, but I think it's good that they actually made a statement against them because maybe now Twitch would do something. Probably not, but maybe.
So,
Yeah.
Sean, I was going to ask, like, how do you think that there's value in covering what Asmongold says and does? Because at a point, it's just like he's so shocking. Like, I've watched a few of his videos, and I find myself saying kind of the same thing over and over. Like, what he's saying makes no sense. He's being racist. He's like justifying genocide here. When you cover his videos, do you find that there's like audience engagement in that? Like, do you see yourself changing people's minds when you're covering Asmongold? What's your experience been on stuff like that?
Yeah, so I've kind of moved away from covering people like Asmongold and XQC and even Ethan Klein to a certain extent, outside of just being like, this is why it's harmful. Mostly because I think with somebody like Ethan, like he's kind of like lost a lot of motion.
Right.
So the more that like I talk about him, I bring it up, it gives people like it gives him more attention that he because it gives him content to react to and talk about and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so just like kind of like letting him fester and talking about why his words are harmful, separate from, you know, reacting to his content, I think it's also a good way to do it. For Asmongold, it's a bit interesting because we're on the same platform. And Asmongold also will like, you know, talk about me on stream and bring me up and stuff. But I don't know if it's necessarily like beneficial or productive to like, you know, put a spotlight on like this is what Asmongold said today kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And more just be like, hey, you know, Twitch, this is what you're showing on your platform. And maybe the pressure onto Twitch about it would be beneficial. I don't know. It's a hard conversation.
Yeah, because I think all of us kind of got into covering Ethan Klein because he was making some pro-genocide statements on his podcast. And it's important when someone like has presented themselves as a liberal and then now they're justifying genocide, you have to kind of highlight those differences and highlight the changes, talk about what he's doing and help inform the audiences that we're watching Ethan Klein and are now confused. They're like, wait a second, like I'm not a fan of what he's saying. But now everyone knows Ethan Klein is pro-genocide. Everyone knows he's pro-Israel. He's pro-American imperialism. So there isn't as much value in covering his podcast as there was maybe like a year ago or a year and a half ago. And I think that's kind of the same thing with Asmongold. Like everyone knows he's kind of a piece of shit, and the people that like that are going to tune in and watch him, and the people that don't like that are going to not watch him anymore. There's no like confusion that really needs to be elaborated upon. But yeah, I do see that there's value in highlighting some of the more despicable things that he's said and putting pressure on like his sponsorships or the platform that he's on, like stuff like that. So
yeah, I kind of stopped going after him. Like his audience is so fucking annoying and toxic. Like anytime I started, like once he kind of went after me on Twitter, now anytime I put a tweet, I get a bunch of Asmongold fans in my replies or something. Someone said they even like doxed me or something like that. So first of all, I also kind of like Sean, I also don't think he actually really believes most of the stuff that he says. So once I kind of got that sense that he's just parroting whatever his chat is saying, like I don't really, to me, he's kind of harmless. Not harmless, like there's a lot of young people that listen to him. But if he's not even convinced about what he's saying, then I'm not really gonna give it that much attention. I just like to talk about it this time because it actually he got some pushback, and I kind of like Casey Tron standing her ground because what Ethan forced her to say in that apology was just kind of pathetic. So for her to be like, "Fuck you, fuck Asmongold," here's a fucking list, people threatening her with lawsuits in the comments, her not fucking falling for it. I just kind of like Casey Tron being a badass, and so I think that was a pretty sweet move of hers. Haley sends a $2 chat and says, "Sorry, sweeties, but we all came from Israel." Haley, how dare you? And Chris says, "The Cockroach King speaks from a throne of vermin," with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate you guys. Haley also saying, "Breaking Piggies love joining into a slop fest." Thank you so much, Haley. We got a lot of slop. We got a little bit of slop coming in a second. I just wanted to quickly talk about something not very important, but something maybe a little bit lighter. Did you guys notice Ben Shapiro's eyebrows? What's Ben
Something lighter? Did he get them trip? Oh my god!
So here's, did you see this or not?
Lost his way.
I did not.
I knew that a long time ago, and he's
And there's a before and after picture that's fucking insane. Like, that's how does that even happen?
not MAGA. MAGA is saving our country. MAGA is making our country great again. MAGA is America first, and Tucker is none of those things. And Tucker is really not smart enough to understand that. All of which is obviously true, except that Tucker is.
No one can listen to what you're saying. We're all busy looking at your eyebrows. So there's a before and after. Like, this is legit insane. Like, he literally got something done. I don't know what it is.
Is this like a Turkish eyebrow transplant?
I don't know, man. Did he burn his eyebrows accidentally? Did he get them burnt off? And he was like, I need to have something up there. But how do you do this? How do you get to so much thickness? Are they like, some people, like in the Middle East, a lot of people tattoo eyebrows on, like women will shave off their eyebrows and then like tattoo like a strip on top of their eyebrows. Look at this. Like, this is, dude.
That's
like,
crazy.
That's like,
Is that real?
Explode.
I think this is like, can someone look up, can you do a Turkish eyebrow transplant? It's not AI. People are saying it's AI.
Like, this video
There's no
looks
way.
like a Ben Shapiro impersonator that's making fun of Ben.
No. Even his beard, like even his upper lip, the hair on his upper lip is starting to look sus to me. Like, maybe he got a bunch of also like a beard transplant or something. Is he trying to look more like macho, more masculine, more
I think
alpha?
so.
Is that what he thinks this is doing? Because this is not at all the effect that it's giving.
That's insane.
And it's not a joke. Like, legit, this is not like AI. There's multiple videos from like different sources.
Drawn out.
Okay, look at that. These are normal eyebrows. There's no way, unless they were always like this, and he's been plucking them to make them look like this for years.
That's what I
And
was
he's-
thinking.
And he's like, you know what? I'm done with the plucking.
After
it's giving him some kind
After Charlie's death, he just let himself go.
Maybe it's giving him some like allergies, because I'm sure plucking could be painful, and plucking all that fucking hair. Like, holy shit, this is painful. These are thick, deeply
Yeah.
rooted eyebrow hairs. Like, these are there. These are in there, man. But even the mustache is looking sus to me. Like, that's the thing.
Is it possible that he started taking supplements to help with hair growth? Like, maybe he was going bald, and then this could be the effect of that?
It's Propecia. He's taking he's on Propecia, but it's not supposed to do this to your eyebrows. It's maybe some like hair on his shoulders or something. I'm like, I don't know if it's supposed to give you such a full eyebrow. I don't know, man. I think he's been plucking. I guess he's been plucking for years, and he's like, enough with the plucking. Because you can kind of see there's a little bit maybe of room. I don't know, man. There's just
I
he
don't
looks so
know.
sweet.
I don't.
Literally, they doubled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they doubled. They literally. That's too much.
that's not plucking.
You can't pluck that out, huh? Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Let's see what else we got really quickly. Do you guys want to talk about Mamdani's wife and her Instagram likes, or that's not maybe? We can talk about Adam McIntyre versus Rosanna. Maybe that's Panzino. Maybe that's a little bit more fun. Let me switch away for one quick second so I can open up some links. I'll be right back. By the way, what time zone are you in, Sean?
Pacific. I'm in Los Angeles.
Pacific.
Oh, Pacific. Okay. LA. Cool.
Sean, speaking about eyebrows, I'm asking all of the male guests that come on if they want to do like a leftist facial hair competition, like during November or something. Because you got some pretty good action going on.
Sure, I'm down. My hair doesn't grow that too crazy though.
I just want to see someone that can beat Comrade Casey in the mustache department. I don't think I've seen anyone that can do that yet.
Impossible.
Yeah, I think Cameron
Only
Casey's got
Joseph
that
Stalin
down.
himself.
Okay, really quick. This has been. I don't know how from are you guys? I know this person, Rosanna. She was a guest on H3
Basically,
like
I saw some comments saying
a couple of years ago, and I remember she talked about Mr. Beast. I think it was like in relation to her making like a Mr. Beast expose, and then H3 had talking about her back when I used to watch H3.
Yeah, she was a pretty big Mr. Beast like expose person back like a couple years ago.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she has pretty big podcast, and she recently announced that Olivia, former H3 crew member, was joining her podcast, and they released, I'm guessing, the first episode or something, and they're addressing the H3 rumor. So here's what Rosanna had to say about Olivia's past with H3, etc.
But basically, I saw some comments saying that they thought our podcast was financed by H3, or we were in H3's back pocket, or somehow this is a spin-off show of H3. And I just wanted to let everyone know, absolutely not. My podcast is completely independent. The first season of my podcast, when I was interested in having a podcast, I went to my agents at WME and we shopped it around. We got 6 offers to buy the show, and we partnered with one of those companies, and we also partnered.
The concept of like companies buying podcasts is also like crazy.
The
to me.
concept
Like, what?
of you being independent because you're bought by a single company then?
Yeah.
Only one mega conglomerate
Yeah.
gave us hundreds of thousands of dollars for this podcast. So
With this same company for season 2, and that company is not H3. It is
true.
completely independent. So I just hope that that clears it up. I just noticed that this rumor started to pick up a little traction.
Yeah.
But it is true that Olivia used to work at H3.
Yep. I haven't been there for like over 6 months, and now I have a
keep that in mind. So she said she hasn't been there in over 6 months.
new job, and I'm working with Ro.
Yeah,
And they're not connected.
They have been really kind and supportive of Olivia,
Yeah.
which is so sweet. When she left H3 and then hired you like 5 months later, they like wrote us a few nice comments and said that they were proud of you and congratulations.
Yeah, which
so
I'm really grateful.
I'll say it again, but we don't have any investors other than me. So if there's any billionaire investors that want to throw us money so we can take this podcast on a yacht,
Come on,
we can take this
now.
podcast on a PJ.
Come on,
Yeah, the
PJ.
PJs. You just let us know. I just want to say thank you to the people I saw in the comments who were actually addressing it and helping me address that and clear that up. So thank
I don't think anyone meant that like H3 is an investor or like that they're giving you guys money. I think they're just people were just wanting some clarification of like, is Olivia still tied to H3 in any way, or has Olivia said anything to distance herself from a lot of the Zionist things that Ethan and Ela had said?
you to you. I appreciate that. That is a rumor. That is lies.
Hey, and I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here.
Oh, shut up.
2 Italians tearing it up. We're
For
so
this.
Italian.
Look
for
at the
this.
ribbons in our hair.
Okay, this is not aimed at me in terms of content, so I'm not gonna like comment. So Adam McIntyre quote tweets this video with a photo of Olivia on the H3 podcast from just like a month ago, as she was there on a guest spot explaining the Beckham drama to the whole crew. So she was there for a full episode just a month ago. So Adam says, I haven't been there for over 6 months. Just not true. Olivia was recently on H3. Then Rosanna quote tweets Adam and says she hasn't worked there for 6+ months. She went on once as a guest in that time, not as an employee. I understand you don't like Olivia or me anymore, but that's not an excuse to
That's a lie about us. Jesus.
about us. And then Adam quote tweets that and says, lie about you, just showed how you lied, Ro. So, I mean, what do you guys think about all this? Should people, I mean, I guess the bigger question is, Olivia left H3. Should people still go after her? Does she need to, for example, speak out against what Ethan and Ela have said for her exit from H3 to like count? What do you guys think about that? Should people still go after Olivia for her time at H3? Sort of, where do you guys stand on this whole thing?
I think firstly, my biggest pet peeve with the clips that we saw is just Rosanna is her name, calling herself independent when she has a funder. I can't get over that. That's just not how
She
that
has
works.
no
Not-
investors, but the podcast was bought by only one
Yeah.
company.
And it's the same company that has it for season 2. She hasn't changed conglomerate.
Yeah.
It's still the same conglomerate. It's a family-owned conglomerate.
Yeah, so like that's not what independent means, but like that's not the point of the conversation. On the Olivia thing, I think I personally, for any like accountability or whatever is to happen for Olivia being a part of this, propaganda arm for Israel is what the podcast has become, the H3 podcast. Addressing that is kind of like necessary to move forward. If you want people to kind of disassociate you from H3. And if you don't want those ties with H3, addressing the fact that you were a part of it for so long, why you didn't leave then, and why you went back on a month ago, I think it's completely fair of people to be like, hey, why is that the case?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I think there's a big
Comment,
difference
Casey.
between like going back on the show and just like still being friends with some of them. Like, I mean, if she wants, like, I guess it's like a matter of does she want to not be associated with the show anymore? And it seems more like Rosanna didn't want to be associated with the show or something, and Olivia doesn't really care. It seemed kind of uncomfortable in that clip. Um, but
Yeah, it wasn't.
yeah, I
It
mean,
was
it's really just going
uncomfortable.
back as a guest. It's weird.
So you think it's okay that she went back as a guest, or you think
Well, I think
it's
it
kind of like
just it answers the question of like, are you still associated with the show? Because like
yeah.
being friends with AB, for example, doesn't associate you with the show, but you know, going back on as a guest, running the show, doing a cute little segment, like you're basically back on the show.
Yeah, especially when you consider the fact that the show has caused so much harm. Like, I don't think I'm being exaggeratory when I say that it was a
Yep.
propaganda show for Israel. Like, it just
Hmm.
spent, probably at this point, hundreds of hours just, you know, running defense for Israel directly and indirectly, whether it's like
Yep.
coming after pro-Israel supporters, yelling at Hassan, or all of us on this on this
Yeah.
this podcast as well, and like anybody who dared say anything bad about Israel when they were committing a genocide, and so like Olivia was not a part of that. Olivia sat there for all those episodes while that was happening,
Hmm.
didn't say anything about it then, left, still hasn't said anything about it. And so like I think people aren't unfairly putting her in association with H3. She put herself in that association. And if she wants to distance herself from that relation, that is completely her prerogative to do so. But if she doesn't
100%.
want to do that, especially going back on a show with as a guest, speaking positively about the show that we all know caused a lot of harm, people are going to feel some type of way about that. And she can say something or not say something about it. That's totally on her. But people are allowed to feel however they feel about it, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, and it's weird that they took this like strange middle ground where they're kind of like they're slightly addressing H3 related stuff, and instead of actually just being honest and addressing what the actual concerns are. Oh, you're on a podcast that does genocide propaganda, that defends Israel's genocide. They're like, well, we're not sponsored by H3, and then they leave it at that. Like, it does just. I can see why it leaves a sour taste in people's mouth when this is the reaction to people's genuine concerns about genocide.
I agree with you guys for the most part. Like I'm trying to think back. Like when Ian left the show, he never made any statement, and I think people are tend to like forgive Ian or look back at his time on the show with fondness, even though Ian was there for a long time, even way before Ethan and Ela were like openly saying Zionist stuff. Also, Cam left, and I don't think Cam, like no one, I don't think has have people put pressure on Cam to like, hey, you need to speak out against Ethan or Ela because Cam has also like made an appearance, I think, back on the show. I think where I might give Olivia some like a little bit of leeway was I can't remember what the name of the documentary it was, like No Other Land or something. Her and Ian were both once on the podcast. They were talking about how they saw this documentary. I think it was their way of trying to push back. Also, Olivia, I remember when Ethan and Ela pulled up one of her tweets. They were doing like a members live, and it was a tweet of her sharing like from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And they sat there for like 10 minutes explaining how that is anti-Semitic, how it
Yeah.
means that Palestinians want to kill all the Jews, and like Olivia probably tweeted that because she didn't know what it meant, etc. I think maybe she wanted to leave H3 on good terms, and she's seen how Ethan reacts to all these female creators who like turn on him or who say anything bad on him, even if they're coworkers of his. Like he has no problem going after Trisha, Hassan. So maybe in her mind, she's like if they invite me on and if I say no, they might think that I'm like against them, or they might think that I'm going to speak out against them. So I might just want to stay on their good side. And I'm not trying to give her any credit for like I don't care ultimately, but that might be an explanation. And she did leave for like 4 or 5 months before she officially like quit. So like I know a lot of us were wanted to see these their crew leave, and I think we should still give them credit for leaving. But I do agree with Sean and everyone else. Like she should make a statement. Like ultimately, you want to completely wash your hands of this whole thing. You want to make it clear where you stand, where H3 stands. Just be like, hey, listen, Ethan and Hila, while I love them and I worked with them for many years, and I'm always going to appreciate like whatever opportunity they gave me, I disagree with many of the things that they said. Like there's a way you can word it without like insulting them and without being like completely offensive to them, and what where they might understand why you had to make them. Because look, Ethan and Hila also, they put all their crew in a very difficult position. Like AB used to be friends with iDubbbz, now they can't talk anymore. Olivia used to be friends with Adam McIntyre, so like I understand that they could have left and they could have spoken out, but it was also like their job was like they never expected their job to turn into this. I also like when they started their job at H3 years ago, so it's got to be hard for you to sit there and have to like tell your boss that he's being a Zionist or he's being a racist, like live on cam. So I'm trying to put myself in their shoes, like because Far Twain is asking you, Sean. He sends a $2 super chat and says, "What is Sean's opinion of AB? Innocent or complicit?" And I've struggled with AB because he's Lebanese, so part of me is dying to see AB be like, "Yo, Ethan, you're fucking wrong. This is what's happening. You shouldn't say this. You should say that." But I also understand that he was a massive fan of Ethan. Him being an H3 fan was the only reason he got that job. So it's I show him too much. I give him too much leeway, and people yell at me all the time for giving him too much grace. Sean, what do you think? Is AB complicit? Is he innocent? Is he just at the wrong place? Like, is he just in a between a hard and a rock place? What do you think?
Yeah, so I'm of the mindset that a lot of the crew outside of Ethan and Hila themselves are like victims of Ethan for exactly what you said. Like they didn't ask to be there. But I think specifically when going to like in the level of complicity, I go like Dan most complicit.
Yeah.
Mostly
Yes.
because like there are instances where like Dan will speak up or AB sometimes will speak up to defend Ethan when Ethan is going on his insane tirades. And I'm like, at a like as a place of employment, you don't have to engage with your boss in that, like, feed into his ego or lay or give into his insane hate campaigns against iDubbbz or Anissa or Hassan.
They
And I
could just
think
stay quiet. Yeah.
yeah,
But they choose
exactly.
not to. Yeah.
I think Olivia, out of everybody on the crew, for the most part, stayed the most quiet. But I still think there
Mhm.
were instances where she spoke up in defense of Ethan, where I think she kind of pulled herself and put herself aligned herself politically with Ethan.
Mhm.
Um, and then, secondly, up from there, AB speaks up, more than Olivia does, but still a little bit less than Dan does. Dan is
Mhm.
full on Dick Rider mode, where he's just like, I will defend whatever Ethan does, because he's my boss. And so I think that there are like differing levels of complicity. I think AB is slightly complicit
Mhm.
in the ways that I described. But I still think that like they're still victims of like being employees at a workplace with a toxic boss. I
Hmm.
think those two things can like exist simultaneously. So like
You're
they're
right.
victims of their boss while simultaneously being perpetrators of harm when they, feed into the Zionism and the
Yeah.
pro-genocide sentiments.
I think we can all agree, though, that the most innocent is Zach. He's just a soundbite guy. He just plays the beeper sound bites when we talk about Palestinians.
Yeah, no, Zach is, I would put him second right after Dan in terms of
He's an angel.
complicity.
Yeah.
No, but I think the criticism comes when the person has been off. They have been like a non-employee of the podcast, and then they show up and do another podcast appearance. I think that's when like a lot of where this criticism towards Olivia is coming from. Like at this point, you are a member of a new podcast, and you're still choosing to associate yourself with H3. And I know that, Ethan's insanely thin-skinned and he might be like, oh, well, she never wanted to come on again. But like, I don't think he would have any kind of justification to do a harassment campaign against Olivia if she's just, I don't know what she's talking about on that podcast, but if she's on like the pink couch podcast, ignoring him for the rest of her career.
Whoops, sorry. I hear you. Casey, is AB
Well,
complicit? What do you think?
oh yeah, AB, I forgot.
Should we talk about AB's dog? No, just kidding.
Oh, hey, we can if you guys want.
I think AB, it's really a sad story, I think. I think we can all agree on that. well, maybe not, but starting out as a fan, a super fan, working for free, doing whatever he can to help his favorite YouTuber do what he does. And I don't know, I don't want to be parasocial, but he's kind of been lost in the Ethan sauce, like full on. I mean, even in his like independent streams, he's like defending Ethan and arguing with people that have pretty simple, simple issues. I mean, you, Anthony, you were in his chat when he was talking to his dad and that whole saga. And like, there's been a lot of opportunities for him just to, be normal and engage in a civil way. And he's just sort of, he's still sort of acting as a super fan, as like the ultimate defender of Ethan Klein. And I think working for him kind of, it's like a drug almost. I don't know.
Look, I especially right now, I feel a little weird. I don't want to talk about AB and Lena much just because, and this is what sucks about them working for Ethan and Ela. Their parents, both AB and Lena's families are from South Lebanon. So both of their families, presumably right now, have been evacuated from the south. AB and Lena's families are more in danger of getting hit and killed by Israel than I am today here in Lebanon.
Crazy.
So it actually sucks extra hard for him to be in that position and to be working for people that any chance they get try to justify the violence that the IDF is committing, whether it's in Iran, whether it's in Gaza, whether it's here in Lebanon. So especially now in this time where his family is probably maybe struggling to find a place to stay or maybe trying to fly out of Lebanon and stuff. I just hope that like I just would what I would have liked for him was to be at a safe work environment where he can just be himself, express his opinion, not have to listen to his employer spew out Zionist propaganda each and every day. Like that's if I were AB, if I were a Lebanese man working at a podcast like that, I would have left because I can't sit there and just listen to someone say that. That's a personal thing. I would have taken the financial hit. I would have maybe tried to find another job, move out of LA because like do whatever you need to do to get yourself out of there. But that's just me. That's the kind of person I am. And that's the kind of person that AB is. So I don't want to put that on him. Quick update. Wonderland Joey sends a $3 dono. And Haley D sends a $5 super chat and says, guys, please, I desperately need to hear this white woman's take on politics. Rosanna Panzino? Is that what we were talking about? Let me know, Haley. And thank you so much for the...
Hey, white women are having a year in America right now. They're leading the charge in the anti-ICE protests. You have the I've Had It podcast. There's a renaissance of white women right now in America.
You got the new and improved, what is it called? The podcast version of The View, basically.
Yeah, her take.
Her take. Oh, they're killing it. I think Anna Kasparian left her take.
Yeah.
I just saw that too. They got demoted. So like, first of all, they got rid of their set not too long after Jillian Michaels left. So they've been doing it like live streaming from home, from their laptops. And I saw today that like, Anna Kasparian left, and she went after Jillian Michaels on Twitter. I don't know if you guys got to see that.
I didn't see that. So they both left.
She went after her old co-host. Let me try to find that real quick.
So what's even left of her take?
Am I tripping?
What's up?
Does Anna Kasparian not work at TRT still?
She does.
She does.
But for some reason, she also started to work with Valuetainment and started like a whole show there because she's been expressing like unhappiness at TYT for many years. Like she's always hinting that she doesn't get paid enough, and like Hassan plays video games and makes all this money, and I've been making no money for years. Yeah. So she's always like,
I don't know how much of Anna Kasparian you guys have seen, but like, she's out there with some of her anti-Semitism takes that she's had. She's flying a little too close to the sun for my likes.
So you think she's actually said stuff that like could be deemed anti-Semitic?
Yeah, she has. I mean, in my opinion, anyone that says like America has been taken over by Zionists, that's flirting with actual anti-Semitism, because it does the same thing where it's like, oh, the Jews are controlling the government, right? Like America is a Zionist entity, and Americans are the Zionists that are running America right now. So like it's been taken over by Zionists. America is a Zionist country.
Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah, in
And
that way, yeah.
like Anna Kasparian is doing a podcast with Nazis. She's like retweeting Nazis. She's had some really interesting interactions with Jewish people in which she claims that like she's just getting attacked by like random AIPAC supporters and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's
Well,
some
there was
weird
this
stuff
lady
that Anna Kasparian
there
has
was
been
this
putting out there.
there was that viral video of that lady that went after Anna like while walking her dog or whatever.
Yeah.
And she started threatening her husband, like, we're gonna get your husband fired. It was like all fucking crazy. I love that video. That's so nice.
That video was hilarious.
So Jillian Michaels, ex-co-host of Her Take, put out this tweet. She said, "It's wild to me that some of the loudest voices right now are arguing over whether the Iranian regime really killed 30,000 people. Like the real issue is whether the number is technically lower. If someone wants to say I'm worried about a forever war or this doesn't feel America first, those are fair arguments. Reasonable people can debate that. But pretending the Islamic Republic isn't that bad because you don't like Trump is bananas. That's one hell of a regrettable talking point." So Anna Kasparian quote tweets that and says, "You swore up and down that the US wouldn't get dragged into a war with Iran. You said you'd apologize to me if proven wrong. We are now at war with Iran. We bombed an elementary school and slaughtered 160 little girls at the opening act of liberating Iran. You're a fitness guru with an unbearably inauthentic vocal fry. You have no credibility on geopolitical matters. Tehran, a city of 10 million people, is literally on fire right now, and this is the slop you whip up as analysis. Embarrassing." So I wish this was on camera. I wish they had these kinds of fights on the show while it was still going, because that would have made it watchable and it would probably still be around today.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sean, we have a couple of questions that we want to ask you a little
Okay.
randomly. Let me pull that up real quick. You mentioned earlier, like a few months ago, you had this very interesting point that you brought up also. You were talking about the lack of non-white liberal voices on the left and online left spaces. I kind of wanted to get a little bit more of your take on that. Like, do you think it's getting a little bit better, at least since you put out that stream? How can we change it? And like, are there any leftist creators, black or non-white, that we should kind of be listening to and put our attention to that are maybe sort of under-recognized or underseen?
Yeah. So it's interesting because like this is a conversation that just keeps coming back up over and over again. Mostly because like they're just things that just kind of happen.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'll say like, it's gotten better, but I think there's been more awareness on like the issue of the issue kind of just like there is a hyperfixation on the centering of like white cis male voices in like the leftist content space. And so the space it just doesn't necessarily look diverse, as diverse as you would expect like a leftist space to look like, because there are leftists of all different shades, colors, creeds, and so that's what I was talking about and addressing last year. And that's kind of been I've become like the beacon of that for a lot of people. Like people have come to me and told me like, "I'm so glad you said this. I've seen this as well." I don't necessarily know I don't know how I know like I don't know how to like fix that issue. I think it comes from like just the mindset of a lot of people who call themselves leftists, where they think like, "Oh, now that I'm a leftist, I don't have to learn anymore. I don't have to grow anymore. I don't have to like listen to other people and expand my mind." It's kind of like the read theory discourse. A lot of leftists don't feel like they need to read theory because they feel like, okay, well, I'm already here. I already know that capitalism is bad. What's next? And it's like, okay, well, maybe there's stuff you can learn from the people who've been here before you, people who've been at this position before you, including like black and brown people. And so that's why I'm trying to get people to like understand and to acknowledge that like it's good to like get introduced to leftism and you're here and you're a part of like a big leftist community. But like let's take it further than that. Keep reading, keep listening to people, keep understanding the lived experience of marginalized people, understanding who we're fighting for and why. It's very easy to fight for the nebulous marginalized person, but it's also better to just talk to those people and get their perspectives and hear what they have to say. It's kind of how I view that entire issue. As for like black and brown or marginalized leftists to listen to, that's a good question. Who are leftists? A big problem that I've had is that there are a lot of liberals out there.
How do you? What's the definition of a leftist technically?
Yeah, and so
Or,
like
how do people define themselves?
It's kind of difficult for like especially black people who talk about blackness as an issue, because talking about like the black experience aligns you a lot with like radical thinking, but it doesn't
Hmm.
inherently make you radical.
Hmm.
And so you have a lot of people who talk about issues that Black people face, and you're like, okay, this person must be radical, and then you listen to them, you're like, wait, and they're like, vote for Kamala Harris. You're just like, hold on a second, I don't know
Yeah.
about about all that. It's kind of what happened with Jasmine Crockett recently, where like
Hmm.
people kind of like associated her like blackness as like a radical tradition
Mm.
instead of like her just being like an establishment candidate. Um, but there are some good ones. Some good like black leftists out there. I do like FD Signifier as like a good black analysis for like black culture.
Hmm.
Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, Twitch streamer, YouTuber, um, makes like a lot of content there. Also streams.
Okay.
Think Peace Tribe is a lot on like short form content, so like TikTok, and also on YouTube. Um,
Okay.
who
Awesome.
else?
Was the first one FT signifier?
F.
FD signifier.
FD signifier,
Yeah,
and then foreign man in a foreign land and peace
yeah,
tribe.
yeah. Think
Okay,
Peace
sweet.
Tribe,
Okay.
and then Samaya on TikTok. So I
Samaya on
think
TikTok.
yeah,
Okay, sweet.
and so
Yeah,
those are just a few of the of people that I would shout out specifically.
because it's important.
Who
Because also, like when Kamala was running for president, like didn't Trump take away a large chunk of like the Latino vote, also of the African American vote? Like there are no voices. Like, and everyone is always pointing to we need the Joe Rogan of the left, and we need, and again, that's something that you talked about, and everyone's pointing to Hassan. Okay, Hassan's great, but we need other voices other than Hassan. And Hassan, for the most part, is pretty white passing. Like even I myself, I'm an Arab American, but like ultimately, I think you would throw me in the bucket with like white liberals. I sound pretty white for the most part. If I shave my beard, I could come off as white. So my experience isn't like I'm not gonna. I can give you guys an experience as a Lebanese leftist, as an Arab American
Mm.
leftist, but like we need people of all voices to participate a little bit more. And yeah, I feel if people had more voices to listen to on the left, they might have been more inclined to vote for. Not that we're missing out on much because Kamala didn't get elected, but all that stuff would kind of help. Just have more diverse voices out there.
Yeah,
Um,
and there's a huge thing about like there's a larger segment of like black like liberals and black people
mhm,
who vote for Democratic Party because they feel like it's safe,
mhm,
and because they feel as though there is just like unchecked white supremacy in leftist spaces as well. And so
Mm.
you have black people who are radical, who don't even like the Democrats, but when they go to try to join like white leftist spaces, it's like they join spaces that don't look like them, and they're just like, I don't know how I feel about being in this space that looks, so different than like what I'm used to. And
mhm,
so, and then you join these spaces, and then you have people who are like, not all like white leftists say this, but like who are like, race is not a problem. We need to focus on class exclusively. They have class reductionist
mhm,
mentality in like some like leftist spaces. Um, and like while again there's truth to like class being the true unifier,
mhm,
messaging that to black people is a bit difficult because they're like, well, what about my experience? I experience the world differently than like white people do. And it feels like you're not including my experience. You're not talking to my experience. And I live my experience. And
mhm,
so black people don't like become like, conservatives or don't even really become liberals. They just go and organize in their own spaces. So you
mhm,
have like smaller black communities who are organizing, doing mutual aid in their spaces, in their communities. And they're not joining like the DSA or they're not joining PSO or these like socialist entities
Mm.
because they have this perception of how they are viewed by socialists and how socialists view and how they view socialists and like socialism as like a
mhm.
white man's thing. Like Bernie Sanders is like, oh well, socialism is like for the white people. But
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing socialism in their communities. They're talking about socialism in their communities. But there's some disconnect between how like the term or label of leftist or socialist and a lot of the black community. And
Mhm.
my goal is to try to find what that disconnect is to kind of try to bridge that.
Yeah. No, I think you're doing an awesome job. Like that. No, that's actually very well put. Actually, just really quickly, I just wanted to add that, like, for example, we were talking about ICE earlier and Christy Nome and stuff. Like, how do you feel seeing how the whole country and the whole world reacted to Alex Preddy's death and Renee Good versus the daily mowing down that black people face at the hands of the police? Like, basically, the whole world stopped to mourn these people that every single day, Black Americans are getting killed by cops, stopped by cops, doesn't get a fraction of the media attention.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of reads to me as like it didn't feel any different to me because it kind of feels like what reality is. Like, for example, like people like to bring up like Black Lives Matter and BLM, the movement that was. BLM as it started, started in like 2012, right? So you have like Tamir Rice being killed, Trayvon Martin being killed.
Yep.
Like this was like 8 years before 2020, the huge massive protests. And it took that long and a long road of Black bodies to even get to the mass mobilization. And even during 2020, it took 3 separate instances. It took Ahmaud Arbery, it took Breonna Taylor, and then finally George Floyd. It took 3 separate high-profile instances for people to finally care about it in this one specific year. And there was more in that year as well. And so the fact that the ICE have been kidnapping brown kids off the street, separating families at the border, and like that didn't get a lot of fanfare. And there's been Latino kids in detention facilities who have died due to lack of care under Obama, under Biden, and under Trump. And so the fact that it takes 2 white Americans being killed, which is obviously tragic, it's just kind of like something that I think a lot of marginalized people kind of understand. That's kind of how dehumanization works. Where I fall is like, if this gets people off of their couches, I'm all for it. There are some people, and these are the people I would call liberals, Black people who are like, oh, you weren't riding with us, you didn't care about our issues, I won't care about your issue. I've never subscribed to that. I think that's silly and counterproductive. I understand where their anger comes from, but I think that if you understand how it feels to be on the other end of it, you should be first in line, ready to fix the issues when people finally get around to it.
Yeah. And I think that's a big reason why I said white women have been having a year, because a lot of white liberal women never really experienced issues like what they're experiencing now with ICE, where I don't know, their deli's closed because the employees don't want to show up there anymore. Their kids are reporting that their classmates aren't coming to school because ICE is kidnapping them from the bus stop. Like, a lot of issues that were being exported abroad or being dealt to minority communities are now being brought up to white people. And a lot of white liberals are really facing the repercussions of this system that they've been beneficiaries of for so long. And now they're facing that underneath a Trump administration. So it is sad, but it's like people are woke, for lack of a better term, now. But I don't know. I don't know if now that ICE has really left Minnesota, if people are going to care that much anymore about ICE in other parts of the country, or unfair policing to different minority groups. So it is interesting, but
it's just kind of crazy to me that all it took was 2 white people to get killed by ICE for white people to decide to arm themselves and basically just fight back against the police. I'm like, goddamn, literally, we started I saw so many videos of white people in Minnesota arming themselves and standing in the yard. If a Black person tries to arm themselves to fight off the police,
there are some instances of this happening. There's the former Philadelphia Black Panthers, I think they're called the Black Lions now, who are arming themselves and walking around their communities. They're a smaller group. And so, but it is happening in small extents. But historically speaking, gun control only really happened in this country when Black people started to get guns. California famously passed gun control after Black people basically walked with guns legally through the Capitol because it was legal at the time. And then they were okay, the NRA was all right, time to start advocating for gun control because now Black people have guns now. And so that kind of happened with school lunches too. School lunches are only paid because white parents didn't want not parents, but community members didn't want Black kids getting free lunch because it felt like welfare. It felt like a government handout. So they killed free lunch for everybody because Black kids were getting it. And now, years later, we're still having to pay for school lunches for students, which is insane.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Haley D says she also loves Brandon Sutton. Do you know Brandon Sutton as a creator?
I don't actually.
Thanks for the recommendation, Haley. Also, Marina just gifted a Do
Is
Not Worry
Brandon
membership. Thank you
on
so
the
much,
Majority
Marina.
Report? Is Sutton his last name?
I don't know. The name doesn't.
Oh, the discourse. Yeah. I'm pretty
Thanks for the
sure.
recommendation, Haley. Comrade Casey had a question that he wanted to ask you, Sean. I wrote it down here. Do you remember what it
All
was?
right.
Do you want to ask it in person, Comrade Casey?
Yeah, I'll just ask it.
Just do it.
So I was wondering, there's been like a trend recently in the Democratic Party of like these sort of, sort of counterculture, spunky type people. I don't know if they'd all be described that way.
Spunky.
That are like, progressive, talking about socialized healthcare and whatnot. But then their foreign policy is a little suspicious. People like Graham Plattner and this new Cat Abu Ghazale, or I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but I know Hassan a couple days ago, I think he was like he doubled down on his support for Plattner, who was who served in Afghanistan, and also this Cat person wants us to financially support Taiwan if they're invaded. I was wondering just what you think about this trend and like are leftists sort of falling for it? Should it be something we should be worried about or what?
Yeah. So it's pretty funny because I have a thing on my stream where like the last week or so, it's become Grand Platinum hate hour, and so I have to stop myself from talking about Grand Platinum because I will just go off on a whole a whole thing about Grand Platinum and why I just don't like him, and mostly that why I don't trust him.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like so for Kat and Graham, it's two separate things. Kat, like her foreign policy as it pertains to like relations with China, is just it's weird, and also to the right of like the current State Department, like the Trump administration State
Yeah.
Department. Like nobody wants to antagonize war with China, and like arming Taiwan would be an escalation that is like unnecessary and
Mhm.
like not at all what anybody, right, center or left is asking for. So it's kind of a weird thing to just like hold up on for Kat. But she's also like young. She's 26. She's like my age. So I'm like,
Yeah.
She needs to fire whoever is around her, and maybe it'll be different.
Mhm.
Graham Plattner is an interesting case because Graham Plattner has a history of just, being
The
not
tattoo,
good.
like the Reddit posts, like there's so much. Like the tattoo
Yeah.
alone, like how did he had it for how many years? Like no one fucking told you. You couldn't go to a fucking
It's like
laser
15
get it
years.
laser. Like come on, yeah, like
Yeah, he
that to
knew.
me. And he even knew before before uh whoever his opponent was made it public, like he was told, like he got like a heads up, like, yo, your tattoo is gonna play into sort of the attacks against you. He still didn't go like get it fucking like covered up or
Yeah.
something. Like that to me is insane. Like
Yeah, because he wanted to use it as like a campaigning thing. So he got it covered up after he knew it was going to come out. After it came out, he made a statement on it. And he said he's going to get it covered up, and he got it covered up on camera.
yeah,
And so
that's
just that it was just weird because like why is this a thing that you're like campaigning on? Like if I find out that I have a Nazi tattoo on my chest, I don't care. I'm gonna get covered up like the next hour. I'm gonna find a tattoo parlor to get it covered up because like
Mhm.
I'm not walking around with the Nazi symbol on my chest. But he
Mhm.
willingly waited like a week, right, or 2 weeks after it being public to like even get it covered up in the first place.
Mhm.
And so that was just a very weird thing that has me questioning just where his mind is at as it pertains to stuff like that. But even past that, he like still denies what it is. He'll say that it like resembles a Nazi symbol or that it's a skull and crossbones. And whenever he's pressed on it, he's like, he'll claim that he didn't know what it was, but then claim that he knew at the time that it was similar, that the Nazis had a similar symbol. And then you're just like, none of the situation comes across as like this guy is like a serious person about, or a serious, fighter against fascism. Because he's like running for under a progressive ticket for the Senate, but like you don't know what a totem comp is, and you didn't think to look it up. It was on your chest or at any point, so it was very weird. And that's just like one of like four separate controversies that he has had that he's responded terribly to. But I think that a lot of people are kind of giving him a pass because kind of like Kamala Harris, like, oh, he's better than the alternative.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't subscribe to like lesser evil, lesser evilism. Like if you do bad stuff, like I'm going to call you out on it, even if like the alternative is worse. Like I can call out Trump and Kamala for both being bad. But I think people are kind of giving Graham a pass because, he's saying decent stuff now. Like he's saying, no war with Iran. He called what Israel's doing as genocide. I think this is a low bar personally, but people are kind of writing for him from that. And I say all of that to say, I personally don't trust Graham Plattner. I don't trust him to be able to actually legislate in the correct way. No matter what he's messaging on now, even if his messaging now is like decent, it's fine. More healthcare, no war with Iran, no
He's saying
offensive
the right
weapons to
stuff.
Israel.
He's saying all the right stuff. Like at this now he's saying it. But then like Ryan Grimm and like Emma Vigeland, like a lot of leftist commentators that I watch and respect, like we're writing hard from like Emma Vigeland or like I can't remember if it was her or Ryan Grimm being like, don't be snobs. Like if the Democrats choose to kick him out because of his like tattoo and a couple of unsavory Reddit posts, then we are proving ourselves to be like these snobs and good luck appealing to the average American. If you can't welcome these people, I'm like, but like does it have to be the dude with the Nazi tattoo? Like that's just kind of like, and they were all so, and the Crystal Ball, like they're all so happy to ride for him. So I guess people are that desperate for choice, or like the alternative must be that fucking bad that they're all willing to lower their standards and lower the bar so fucking much where a guy with a literal Nazi tattoo who chose to leave it on for 15 years is like the best chance we have. And also I guess the fact that he was a he's a veteran, so to them that might help with his appeal with like Republicans, and we need more like alpha, like and maybe that's what they're thinking. We need more alpha males that are like into macho shit in the military. He kind of hits those two categories, so let's fucking go. We'll overlook the tattoo and
That's kind of what it is. I said it yesterday. I think it's an appeal to whiteness. You said earlier, Anthony, about Joe Rogan of the left, right? How do we appeal to like young white men? How do we save that constituency? I think Graham Plattner kind of represents that to a lot of people because he's like a rough and tumble, vet who's he's a rugged guy. He can have that appeal that like they want to that constituency, and that's why they're writing so hard for Graham Plattner because they view him as kind of like a messiah figure to like save the young men.
they like the profile.
Yeah, and so I think that's a huge part of it, which is why they're willing to overlook a lot of the very overt and blatant red flags. Also because he's successful, he's winning, and so they're like, okay, this guy who is like who won't even call himself progressive. He doesn't call himself progressive. He doesn't call himself a leftist or a socialist. Probably to appeal to those right wingers. And so this guy who just has that appeal is winning. They're like, oh, let's make him the face of our coalition. And my frustration comes from the fact that like, black and brown people, women don't get that same sort of support in that same sort of way. Like we just saw like last year, Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush or maybe it's 2 years ago at this point, Bowman and Cori Bush, who are two of the most progressive members of Congress, be primaried, right? Thrown out of their seats in Congress to very little fanfare. There was no like massive movement for their elections. There was no, we need to keep them in office. They didn't get the support that Graham Plattner got. Even Zohran Mamdani didn't get endorsed by Bernie Sanders until like 2 weeks out from the election, where like Graham Plattner, a month after announcing, got endorsed by Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, he weighed in on the tattoo.
Yeah, and so there's this weird, I don't want to say double standard, but like there's this centering of whiteness that is pervasive in political culture, where like people look at like electability and how well you can appeal to white people as like the chief thing that matters in a conversation.
Yeah.
But like I would like to see somebody who was a part of Blackwater, the military contract, the war machine, the war crime machine that has a number of different, like 6 or 7 different like, lawsuits for like, just killing civilians.
Hmm.
The guy who willingly joined that after being in the military for 10 years and who claimed to like have been in the military, joined because of 9/11, saw how bad things were, got out because
Went
of how
back.
bad things were, and then went back to join the worst version of the military, Blackwater,
Hmm.
and then at no point has ever, apologized for it to any reasonable standard, even going as far as to say
Hmm.
that he won't apologize for like things like the tattoo. It's just like it does not read as trustworthy to me. I understand
Yeah.
why people like him, and if people in Maine want to vote for him, I'm not in Maine, so I don't. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But I just don't trust him. There's a not trust person in like pinging in the back of my brain. Uh, but
Is it the Nazi tattoo?
I mean, it's for me, it's a Blackwater. So one of my
Yeah.
Yeah.
earliest
Me
videos
too.
on YouTube was history of Blackwater. It's an hour-long video where I spent a month researching just what
Wow.
Blackwater was, and how bad it was, and how far they've gone to escape accountability. So they changed their name from Blackwater to, and they're like 7 subsidiaries, to Z Services, to Constellas, and they were acquired by Triple Canopy. Eric Prince was moving money around. Then he moved to Russia, hanging out with the Wagner Group, the Nazis in Russia. Everything about Blackwater is bad. If you don't know about Blackwater, the video is there if you want to see it, or you can do your own research. It's everything about it is bad, and nothing good has come out of Blackwater. And Graham Plattner willingly joining Blackwater after he was supposedly woke, when he was supposed to be like a Bernie Sanders style, democratic socialist.
Doesn't
It,
add
it,
up. Yeah.
it doesn't add up. And I need that to be addressed for me before he gets my support. But he doesn't go on any contentious sections. He goes to like, right-wing podcasts, and like liberal podcasts like the Pod Save America boys. He doesn't go to any like actual people who will hold him accountable or will actually question him on these things. Doesn't go on any like leftist broadcast. If he wants to come on my stream, I will grill him. But
Yeah, no. But even if he does go on some leftist shows, like for example, Breaking Points or The Majority Report, he's gonna get softball questions because they're all kind of, and they're all supporting him. That's the thing. And weirdly enough, like the biggest, like the things that make make us leftists like sort of not trust him, Abu Ghraib, Blackwater, Reddit, the tattoo, all that sort of thing. That's his biggest selling points. Like that's what some of these people are like. Yeah, but that's fine. That'll help him get people on the right. So everything that you guys hate about him, we actually need to embrace. So I guess there's that disconnect where part of us. And also what you said about sort of black politicians not being given the same sort of leeway. Same applies in Hollywood. Now, I'm not here to forgive, like, for example, an actor that is accused of whatever crime in Hollywood. If that actor is black, they'll never work again. But a white actor, give it a year or two, they're back getting jobs. Like everyone doesn't care that they get accused of sexual harassment. Give it a year or two, they're back in Hollywood. They're back on some kind of production. If it's a black actor or a minority actor, they're gone. They're fucking. That's it. Again, I'm not trying to say like whoever does something bad, they should like. For example, what's his name? The guy who played Kang in Marvel, barely
Jonathan
accused.
Majors.
Jonathan Majors, you're out. You're done. It's like okay, he probably deserves it. I remember the case being pretty rough, but like for example, if he was a white actor, they would have given him much more like time. Or like let's see what we can do. Or like you'll get the role back in a year. We'll bring you back. With Jonathan Majors, like that's it. You're out of Hollywood. That's it. Like you're fucked. Again, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just giving it's the first example that came to mind of that also applying to like basically white actors, whoever you are, you get much more benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean, even with Cat versus Graham, right? There are people who are like super, super, super anti-Cat, but are like super, super, super pro Graham Plattner. And to me, it feels the same, like the same conversation. Like, yeah, not to defend Cat, but like if we're talking about lesser evil voting, if like Graham Plattner is our guy because he's better than Janet Mills and better than Susan Collins, then like if Cat is better than her opponents, then it would be the same thing under the concept of lesser evil voting.
Yeah.
I hate lesser evil voting, so I disagree with the entire concept of that. But if you're pro lesser evil voting, like if you're like, yeah, Graham is our guy because lesser evil voting, then like, how can that not be applied consistently across the entire conversation?
No, absolutely. Couple more questions here. I wanted to ask you, well, quickly, you mentioned reading. Do you have any book recommendations, anything that you recommend that people should read, particularly if we want to understand more about sort of like black politics or sort of like if we want to get more informed, what do black constituents look for in leadership? Sort of like some good insight. We'd love to get some good recommendations from you. It's also something I asked Chris Kunzler.
Yeah. It's a good question. I mean, Revolutionary Suicide by Huey P. Newton is always a good book to read.
Revolutionary Suicide?
Yeah, Revolutionary Suicide. Women, Race, and Class, Angela Davis. Our Prison's Obsolete, Angela Davis. I built up my library, if you will, just based on what I want to cover. So I wanted to cover prisons, so I looked at Our Prison's Obsolete. That's a good book to read.
Okay, Our Prison's Obsolete. That's Angela Davis. Our Prison's Obsolete.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Ooh, let's see. I think Mark Fisher's not black, but Mark Fisher's Capitalist Realism is it was kind of like my first theory book, just about talking about capitalism and
I have that one. I got it like a few months ago. I haven't read it yet, but it was one of the. I have a mini list of basics that I need to get into. That one seems good. Yeah, it's short too. It's really a pretty short read. It's
it's not that big of a book.
It's tiny.
There's a big book that I have. All my books are over there. I'm gonna. Can I take a look at it?
Go grab them. Go grab them. Yeah. Let's go. We need this. I need good recommendations. It's always a good thing. I'm trying to write these down. Actually, I can watch the stream back later and write them down. But everybody write this shit down, okay? Soul Life Says Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. They made us read that in IB in high school. That was a good-ass book. Things Fall Apart, Chinua Achebe. But that's not political. I mean, you can glean. There are political themes in there, of course. But yeah, that is a good fucking book. I wonder if I still have my copy. I think so.
Right. Sorry, my books fell over there. So I have 3 books that I have here that I think are pretty good. That I didn't say. This one is called The Silence Majority by Amy Goodman.
The Queen. Okay, awesome.
Yes, this book is actually really good and pertinent when talking about resistance and occupation and uprisings.
Okay, awesome.
I have a book about races called I'm not a racist, but ... Some race books are kind of they're very liberal coded because they talk about race and you're like, okay, that's good. And in the middle of it, it's that's why we need to vote for the Democratic Party and just I don't know how to say that part of it. And then Roots of American Communism by Theodore Draper is a book that
What's the last one?
Roots of American Communism.
Roots of American. Oh, okay, awesome.
And so I also State and Revolution by Lenin, but I don't have that physical copy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Comrade Casey, he's speaking your language. Comrade, have you read Roots of American Communism?
No, I've not. I should.
It's a kind of historical book about how. Oh, sorry, this is my dog here.
Someone just asked about your dog in the chat.
Yeah, she's here. Hold on, let me see if I can turn my off. She needs to use the bathroom.
Oh, such a beautiful girl. Hey, girly.
Dang, I've never seen a husky like that.
Dude, she's so beautiful. She's so well behaved.
Come on, next.
Yo, that's so cute. She's so
it's now
cute.
2 guests in a row showing off their dogs.
No.
Alex had a dog, or
I guess she doesn't need to go.
Yeah, he had a dog. Remember, he was taking him out to the blizzard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nyx, good. Dude, she's so sweet. The chat is loving Nyx. Someone was just asking, I wonder where Sean's dog is.
Oh yeah, she was just laying down out there. She was minding her business.
Oh, dude, how old is she? She looks so sweet.
She's 8 months now.
Oh wow.
She's a baby. Oh my God, she's a little baby.
Yeah, I got her in June. She was abandoned. She was
oh my God,
found walking down the side of a highway.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh, dude, she seems so happy. She seems like she's got a wonderful home. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is that I was streaming earlier today, and I was looking. There's a lot of people that are leaving Dubai. They're escaping Dubai, and they're just abandoning their pets in a panic. These rich motherfuckers in Dubai who could afford private fucking jets are literally abandoning their pets, tying them up on light poles in the middle of the street, and someone's having to go rescue them. While here in Lebanon, people are being displaced from their homes. They have nothing to eat, nowhere to sleep. They're taking their pets, putting them in buckets, and like driving with them across the country, feeding them their own food. Just the difference between just how people take care of animals.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
insane to me. So no, that's super sweet.
Well, that was
I think-
Ethan Klein's reasoning for why the Iranian people need to be liberated because they can't legally walk their dog.
Oh, of course, that's right.
Oh,
the dog
really?
argument.
Very important freedom that we have to bomb people to achieve.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ethan, there's a final question I think we want to ask Sean. You got threatened with a lawsuit while Ethan was on, was it his anniversary or like it was supposed to be like a fun weekend away with his wife. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
They were away, they rented
Yes.
a nice bungalow, and then all of a sudden you come up and it's like we're gonna unless what was it? What was the unless you apologize? What was it? He was trying to
Yeah,
force
there was
someone
some
to apologize.
instigating thing where someone
Yeah,
like
he-
posted a clip of you, and then that got his attention.
Yes, I think what it was weird because like it was like after he started his lawsuits against Krogan, Casey Tron, and Denims.
Mhm.
I think like a week or two later, and because he was floating the idea of like suing other people because he's always going to sue Noah Sampson, but that never happened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was about Hassan giving money to the lawsuits. And Hassan was like, "You'll never know how much money I give." Ethan was like, "Hassan, you must prove or give like $75,000 to like 25,000 to each lawsuit. Or if you don't do that, I'm gonna sue SeanDablack or something." I was just like, "What
Dude,
do we?"
That's so fucking. It's like supervillain shit, literally. Like he's just
Yeah.
like holding people hostage and like. So did you take any of that seriously? How did that sort of like? I mean, it was a couple days until from when he announced it to then he retracted it at the
Yeah.
end of the vacation. Like, guys, we just like to have a nice goof over here, whatever the fuck he said. So
Yeah,
did you
I
take
didn't
that
take it seriously at
seriously or
Not
None.
not in the slightest.
not? in the slightest?
Mostly because like I knew that if he did try to sue me, like I had my parents would like support me as I went through all of my few meager dollars.
Yeah.
But like I think when I called his bluff, I didn't think he would actually do it anyway. And two, because I didn't think he had anything on me in the first place.
Yeah, no.
Which he
like,
admitted. He said that like if he did have something on me, he would have sued me in the first place, which he didn't because I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was something like, "Oh, Ethan's being sexist because he's suing 3 women," and then he's like, "Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
For gender equality, I'm gonna sue SeanDablack."
Yeah. And so I didn't take it seriously. People still like sometimes come to my Instagram comments and was like, "Aren't you the one being sued?" I'm like, "Thought that was like a year ago." So that's pretty interesting. But it was mostly just like Ethan just trying to make me feel like small, I guess, and trying to like turn us against like us as in like me, Frogan, Denims, and Casey Tron against like Hassan, which he ended
Yeah,
up doing
yeah.
with Casey Tron, being like forcing her to apologize to Asmongold and
That
like
was crazy.
implicating like Hassan.
yeah, yeah. That didn't work. She was in his chat like a week later.
Yeah.
But
But
it's like
Hassan
killing.
understands like that was like, obviously like, basically extortion. So I didn't, he could have done whatever he wanted to. I was never gonna be like, "Hassan, please give them the money so I don't get sued." Like that was never
Yeah,
gonna
oh,
happen.
Yeah, that's what he wants. He just wants to try to put people in a position where they have to do something that he deems embarrassing and like try to like debase yourself to try to like
Yeah.
get off his radar. Nola
Yeah.
Magnolia sends a $5 dono. It says, "Been looking forward to this. Thanks, y'all." And Chris sends a $2 dono. It says, "Money to see SeanDablack's Dogo again." So I don't know if Nix is around.
I get her.
No pressure, no pressure. Chris, you're asking a lot right now. She's busy. We're trying.
Oh,
Chris.
here she comes.
Here she comes. You got your wish, Chris. There you go. Oh, dude, she's such a good girl.
Wow.
Dude, she's such a pretty girl. She's so beautiful. What a sweet girl.
Yeah, she's tired. She's like, "Why'd you wake me up?"
Chris, it's your fault. Got my phone. So, I mean, kind of like you said, Ethan has no motion anymore. I've also noticed, like, even when I make Ethan a topic on one of the streams, it just people don't give a fuck anymore. Like, he's genuine.
Yeah.
He's ruined it all. That even talking shit about him isn't even interesting now. Now, Comrade Casey's working on a badass video that I think is gonna do very well. Like Ethan
We'll see.
supporting the war in Iran, I think that's gonna be, because it's been a while since we've had like a good takedown video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been a minute. There's not been anything on that front. But like,
Yeah, I've been taking a break because he's lost all motion. Like,
yeah, no, he successfully killed it. Like, yeah, even talking shit about Ethan on the podcast is no longer as fun. Like, what else is there to say, anyways, after 2 fucking years?
but now that he's supporting, I think what it is that like he lost his motion, but as like as the American Empire is like ramping up its destruction of the world, it's like a dying beast. It's like most dangerous when it's dying. As this is happening, as Ethan continues to, back sort of the opposite opinion of Hassan and sort of do anything he can to distance himself from any sort of socialist label, he only associates himself more and more with the right and like Donald Trump.
Mhm.
And I think that's sort of reaching its climax where I know this has been happening for a while, but like a lot of fans are like, "Oh, this is my last show watching H3. I'm leaving." So like I think it's become and those are the kinds of people who stuck with him all through the Israel stuff to where now the Iran war is so controversial, just like majority of Americans are against it, but he for whatever reason isn't. So it's getting into like the normie space where everyone's
That's crazy
sort of
to me, though. Like
Yeah,
people that are like,
agreeing.
I was fine with your Gaza coverage, but this Iran stuff has gone too far. Like to me, those
it is
people, like,
weird.
Well,
Like-
he's
like,
like
God
going
bless
to the
him.
right of the Democratic establishment. I mean,
Yeah.
we read the Kamala Harris tweet. Like, even she's like, "Oh, this war's bad because it's not putting America first or whatever."
Yeah.
And Ethan
But
Klein's
his
like,
wife-
"I don't know, guys." Like,
I think Ethan, if he weren't married to an Israeli, he would have been less of a Zionist. Like the fact that his
Oh,
wife is
yeah.
from Israel, her family's there, they're constantly watching Israeli news. She's probably getting phone calls from like their Israeli family, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think it's just pushed him so much more to the right and so much more to like just Zionism in general. I think
mean-
if Ela wasn't his wife, he would have been maybe a little bit less. He would have been more malleable. But I think he's stuck, dude. Like
Like-
he can't. He
like,
can't speak out against it.
yeah, Ethan Klein is the perfect example of Zionist brainwashing. I mean, you start off like it's a success story, right? They start him off on like his birthright trip. I don't know when he meets Ela or whatever, but now he's a firm supporter of Israel, doing propaganda for them, like doing free propaganda for them. This is like he's reached the max level of Zionist brainwashing. He's a perfect example of success for that whole program.
I know.
I think it's kind of weird because most of it comes from like just I don't know if y'all saw the conversation, the leftovers conversation, the last one.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Hassan. Like it's so weird to see like how this entire thing has come just out of that. And it's just come to like from Ethan just being vindictive and spiteful and just mad that Hassan was correct about this thing. And he's just unable to like understand like maybe I could be wrong about how I viewed the state of Israel. The Israel that I knew could never do this thing. And Hassan was trying to tell him like, no, this is what Israel does. This is like what the state of Israel does. And there was this this disconnect or this cognitive dissonance that he could not square. And so now I think it feels like he's too far into this like I'm too invested in Israel now. I can't stop being invested in Israel. Which is why, like, even now, he was never like criticizing the state of Israel. It's always just like, if he does do any critique, it's just like the Netanyahu government is this,
Netanyahu.
you know, and it's just like the current government of Israel. It's never like what the state of Israel does, which is why he got hate for saying Israel is like one of the most diverse places in the world. He was gonna go back there on vacation.
Do
It's
vlogs.
just like,
Dude, I kind of wish
Yeah.
we got that vlog series. That would have been fucking amazing to react to. Like that would have been so
I know.
much fucking content to just Ethan Israel vlogs, like during a genocide, being like, look at this ice cream, look at this falafel. Like this would have been, I would have fucking loved watching this, to be honest with you. Like it's the most absurd and tone deaf kind of content. Like the fact that even he was like, you know what, that was a bad idea. I'm like, goddamn, like
Anthony, the Mean Girls movie review that came out yesterday isn't doing
oh
enough
my
for
God,
you.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I don't know why we're
I
saying
tried to.
he's lost his motion. This is groundbreaking.
Like honestly, the best thing to come out of the whole thing was like I think the four of us wouldn't be sitting together unless it was for Ethan's crash up. Like I got to discover James because of that. I got to discover Comrade Casey. I got to discover SeanDablack, your content because of everything that was happening
Yeah,
over the
that's
last
true.
2 years.
Mhm.
So I do think that unintentionally he ended up giving people so many alternate creators to watch because a lot of people that used to watch H3 were looking for other creators to fill their time. Okay, like I've been watching H3 like 4 times a week. What can I watch now? So many of your names came up when I was checking Reddit, etc. Him going after you guys, like I do think that he unintentionally ended up creating a whole other sort of field of like young creators. Like none of us are, at least I'm not going to be as big as H3, but like we're giving people a different taste and people are getting their fill from somewhere else. And there's like, I mean, Chris Kunzler and Isaac have their show now that they're doing No Politic here. There's a lot of people that I've been able to discover and that have come on my radar and I've been able to develop like very nice like friendships with. And I'm super thankful for that, to be honest with you. And we've also, like my audience has grown. I used to just serve a Lebanese audience. We only used to make content here in Lebanon about Lebanon for the most part. And then we used to talk about the region. Now I have a bunch of people from like the States and Europe that watch mainly because of all of the Ethan stuff. So I mean, he's eating shit because of it, but I think it's helped. Haley has an interesting question. She sends a $2 dono and asks, "Would any of you run for office, ever considering running for office?"
Well, you know, we got this Jacob Fry regime here in Minneapolis and
Needs to be
needs to be
toppled.
taken down. I don't know.
Would you
We'll
do
see.
it, Comrade Casey?
Oh, I love this city. I'd love to rule over this city. I think I would be a good dictator. I think people would come to love me and they would have portraits of me hung up in their apartment. And you know, it's always a possibility.
James, what about you?
I don't think so. That takes like a special kind of. I feel like people that run for office, Comrade Casey included, have just too big of egos. They've got too big of egos, and that's not for me. Okay.
That's fair.
Sean, have you ever thought about it? Is it anything you'd ever look into, consider?
I've thought about it. It's something that I've considered. I think that every time I talk about running for office or just electoralism, I have to plug the fact that 70% of elections in this country are uncontested. That means the incumbent is running against themselves. And so if you want to run for office, we need to have more people who are socialists and communists running for office because you can win seat. You can get in because this like in one of my districts in my hometown, old girl who was there in office for 13 years. She had 7 consecutive terms because we had no term limits in North Carolina.
Damn.
7 consecutive terms. And she just lost to somebody running on single payer healthcare, calling what Israel is doing as a genocide and getting ICE out of North Carolina.
Damn.
And so
That
because
is
she was
nice.
pro ICE. She was for ICE collaborating with the sheriff's department as a Democrat. And so she got cooked in the election. And so like you can beat these incumbents because they keep running against themselves. Like she ran uncontested like 4 times, 4 out of her like 7 elections. And so if we just had somebody running against her, they could easily win running on good populist, leftist, socialist policies. And so I think there's something that I can do supporting people who run and doing that. But I mean, maybe I'll run at some point in my future. I'm only 25 years old, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have everyone's vote here if you do. Far Twain sends a $5 dono and says the real victim is Lena. She was going to start med school but gave it up to chase a dream with AB. Now cleans up poop for ungrateful idiots with no plan. Yeah, it does suck. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, like Ethan and Ela have their like dogs lined up behind them. So Lena regularly has to like walk behind Ethan, crouch so that she's not in the shot, and then you'll see her like crouch and like start picking up dog shit while they're like filming the. I'm like, can you like put the dogs on the side? Like, can you not make her job? And again, I don't want to like linger on them because their family's going through a bunch of shit right now. But like, it's just like it's kind of sucks. I definitely feel bad for like no one should have to pick up their boss's dog shit on camera on a live stream. That's his.
Are his dogs not trained? Like Nick's when Nick needs to go outside, they go she goes to the balcony and she uses the bathroom outside and then comes in
Oh,
here.
she's so sweet.
So like
Oh no,
Uh,
Ethan and Hila's dogs are like known for like just shitting all over the house. Ethan has like dry pieces of shit under his editing table. Like it's been a thing for a while. They don't, and the whole Giardia thing where the family
Right.
like supposedly contracted Giardia, so they're known for not cleaning up their dog shit, unfortunately.
and how many do they they have a lot of dogs too.
Yeah, they got like a couple of big ones too. Like recently, they got it's a lot of dogs. Yeah, it kind of sucks.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's it for the questions here. Did
Oh,
anyone
yeah,
have
Anthony,
anything?
I sent
Yeah.
you a link on the
Oh, that's right.
WhatsApp.
Yes, you did. You did. It was the one second.
We
let me
brought
open
up
that up.
the last episode of Leftovers. I think this is from the second to last episode.
Is there a specific time code? Did you send me the
It's at
correct
this
time
time code,
306.
Okay.
just right at the end, where Hassan just says something about. You might want to go back like
Classic,
15
like
seconds.
Let me go back 15 seconds. Dude, I remember this. This was the final leftovers.
This was
Yeah.
like their first heated debate about like this is
Oh,
when
Cap-
the Hassan hate sort of started, and Ethan was like grilling him about China and about
Okay.
socialist reality.
I can't wait for so many people from Virginia, Langley, writing about how they've been living in Taiwan for 25 years.
Right, like those. No, I thought that was a good faith conversation. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was good to, and it was good for me to kind of explore what I think.
It's the classic like Donald Trump. My people yearn for freedom. Please glass Iran. Take that you hear from people living on American soil.
Thank
like
you.
the only way to save Iran is by glassing it.
Thank you.
All right, I have to pee so bad.
That's what Ian
So
said.
I mean,
I like
You
him
know.
mentioning the only way of saving Iran is glassing it. Like that's very also.
yeah, no, I mean, if
Right
Ethan
now.
had just listened to the guy on his that he was co-hosting a show with, where he played the smart person and Ethan played the dumb guy that didn't know anything, like.
And now Ethan's platforming those exact people Hassan was just making fun of.
Yeah.
Dude, they're sending Keemstar merch. They're sending him like jerseys. He's sending the merch. They're friends with Nick the Oreo. He's making Casey trying to apologize to Asmongold. They're like they've aligned themselves with the rogues gallery of like Batman or like it's the worst of the worst.
Saying
And
Sam
then
Hyde
they
is
were
a
like,
funny guy.
Then they're like, why are we not getting any sponsorships? Why are we
No
not
one-
liked?
We're not getting any guests. No one wants to associate with us. It's like they literally did this to themselves. And before I made like very negative videos about them, like I was a Fallen fan. Like I made a video. The first thing I did ever talking about H3 was like, hey, I'm a huge fan. I molded my whole show after them. The colors on my set were kind of based on like H3 colors. I wanted it to be like a Lebanese version of H3. So it was very like good faith criticisms and stuff. And then they just called me an anti-Semite and shit. I was like, okay, you guys are kind of fucking insane. So
Yeah.
Same.
but I think it's all worked out for the best. Ultimately, I think I've got to meet all of you guys. By the way, I'm doing a fundraiser. I think next I'm still trying to finalize the day, either Friday, this coming Friday, so March 13th, or the 15th, or the 16th. I'm going to be streaming for like 20 hours or something, trying to raise money for displaced families in Lebanon, so we can try to feed them, house them. And there's also a charity called Animals Lebanon, who are rescuing abandoned cats and dogs and providing them with shelter and food. We want to try to raise as much money as possible. If you guys have some time to pop on for a little bit, I would more than love to have you guys on. It would be so nice to have you on.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
Sean,
I'm down for sure.
Thank you. It's awesome. Would love that. Sean, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. It was
Of course.
super nice talking to you, super insightful. You gave some great recommendations of either other creators to follow, some nice books to read. We like very excited to keep following up on your journey. And if you can join us for a little bit for the fundraiser, it would be really great. No pressure. I know you're a super busy dude. So if we
Yeah,
can make
for
it
sure.
happen for a
Just,
little while.
Yeah, if it's 20 hours, I'll make some time.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Sean, it was great meeting you.
It's nice meeting you as well.
Yeah, it was great.
Guys,
Thanks for having me.
thank you so much for being here. Guys, it's been real. For everybody who tuned in, thank you so much for being here. To everybody who sent in a super chat for support, thank you guys so much. We love you all. We appreciate you all. We'll be back next week with a whole bunch of content. Make sure to subscribe to Sean on YouTube. You're also, by the way, you're streaming. You're multi-streaming now. I love that.
Yeah.
As soon as Hassan started doing it, I started noticing you popping up on my feed. So it's great. to have you streaming on there. Are you going to keep multi-streaming? Are you liking it? The setup?
I did it last year. It's just like it's a hassle because you have to go to an entirely separate platform to go live. But it's been working. So I'll probably keep doing it.
It's easy keeping up with two chats. Like that's fine.
Oh, I just ignore YouTube chat. So
okay.
Yeah. They deserve it. YouTube chat is nothing but degenerates.
I've been in your YouTube chat a couple times. I guess that's why. You might not have seen it. Haley sends a $5 dono and says, "Thank you, Sean. Great to see you here. We're starstruck." Yeah, honestly,
thank you.
It's great to have you. And obviously, Sean is on Twitch, so you guys can follow Sean on Twitch or on YouTube for all the good stuff. Sean, thank you so much. Super insightful talk. Would love to have you back sometime.
Of course.
All right. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you later.
Until next time, this was Better Left Unsaid. See ya. Yeah. Okay, I'm still streaming, but yeah, I think I'm gonna head off pretty soon. But if you need an idea for your charity stream, you should consider getting Tabletop Simulator. We could do some board games if you need a break from talking about politics. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. I know. Now Sean's like, I'm going to be here on the 20th hour. I'm going to be waiting for you. All right, man. Well, have a great rest of your evening, and I'll talk to you later. Peace. All right. See ya. Dude. Let's see. There we go, and I'm back. Nobody tell him he's not muted. He just called us degenerates. You guys should know this, okay? You should. This is YouTube chat. This is a one-way abusive relationship where you guys just say comments and I ignore you for the most part. No, but listen, why did no one guys? I've been here. Let me switch to screen recording really quick. I've been making content online for a while now, okay? And I gotta go because I have to do some stuff, but I've been making content online for a while now. I've been making content about freaking politics online, right? It's politics. Politics is like the last theater of debate, right? This is like you take the gloves off, there's no holes barred. And it's just like, this is it. This is where people are the most brutal. No, that's not the case. People are not the most brutal on politics. I found out because I posted on Onion Lovers, and I've never been cyberbullied as much. I've never been cyberbullied as much as when I posted this picture of when I tried to cook onions. Okay, so look, I cook up some onions. And I sent a picture to my friend, and he's like, "You got to cook those onions more, bro." I'm like, "Oh, well, I've been cooking them for an hour, and they're probably good enough." And then I'm just like, you know what? I never post on Reddit. Let me post this on this new sub called Onion Lovers. Right? I like cooking onions. 32,000 views, exactly 0 upvotes and 0 downvotes. Like its karma is exactly even, apparently. There's no one likes these onions. Everyone is roasting my ass. 86 comments, 32,000 views. Like I thought this was fettuccine. This looks like tuna noodle casserole when I was scrolling. I thought it was tuna salad. I thought it was shredded white. I see pad thai. Definitely not for my taste. That's just getting started. Saying more. This is rage bait, right? No, these are just getting started. Not anywhere close. Just step away from the onions. Call somebody for help. I've made videos talking about like genocide. I've made videos talking about beloved content creators with massively crazy cultish audiences like Shoe-on-Head and Ethan Klein, and I've never gotten roasted this much as my fucking onion post that I made on Reddit. This is bait. Those are at the awkward stage so I don't know what to do with them. This is whiter than my Wyoming ass. Just softened. No Maillard reaction whatsoever. Let them cook. You sure these are onions? No, this looks like soggy paws. Did you pour milk in there? 4 upvotes. This one is actually a helpful comment. The only helpful comment. No, sometimes you want to start with a little higher heat to get that browning going, and then do a slow, low cook to get the texture you have, but with color. Yeah, this is a joke, right? Those are sad. You're halfway done, maybe less. Those are onions, but they're not caramelized. I thought it was It's just, it goes on and on and on. I'm done. I got bullied off of fucking Reddit. I'm not gonna do. I need to go home. I need to go home and post. I need to go home and post more shit. I gotta cook my onions. Do I know the definition of caramelized? I'm trying, okay? I cooked it for an hour and a half. I cooked it for an hour and a half, and I got my ass roasted. So I think what I'm going to have to do is do an onion cooking stream, because it literally takes too much time to cook onions. Like it's going to be like 3 hours of cooking onions. But I bought 2 bags of sweet onions. I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to put it back into the wok, and then I'm going to cook it. I'm just going to sit there until I can actually get positive karma on a post that I make onto onion lovers. All right. So that's what I'm going to do with my evening. I hope that everyone else has a great rest of their day. And I really am going to try to stream more. Okay. Like, I'm sorry. I've been very busy, but I'm going to try to stream more. I know I keep saying that. Shit's going wild. It's not been good. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to this stream. Please go to Onion Lovers. Give me an upvote. I just want to have positive karma, okay? 36,000 views, exactly even karma. It doesn't take 3 hours. I was stood there for an hour straight cooking the onions, and people are like, no, that's ass. I saw one comment, they're like, did you come in the onions? No. All right, everyone. I'm done. This is ridiculous. Everyone, send me your onion pics. That's what I want to see. All right. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day.